You want out of the tug to be liked at any cost. You want a steadier voice, a sturdy no, and a soft heart that does not fold. You are ready to speak clearly and stay kind without carrying everyone else's comfort on your back. You're listening to Queen Audiobooks. People-pleasing looks generous from the outside. Inside, it drains you. You say yes before you check your body. You take the late shift, fix the group project, pick up the extra errands, and then blame yourself for being tired. Today you start practicing a different pattern. You still care, you also choose. Your nervous system learns safety through repetition. When you speak a small, calm truth and survive, your body updates the story it tells about you. You stop bracing for backlash. You start trusting your own tone. This is not about becoming cold. It is about becoming congruent. Your words match your values. Your schedule matches your capacity. Your money matches what matters. Try a one-breath pause before any answer. Inhale slowly. Exhale fully. Ask yourself, what is the honest response that protects my energy and respects theirs? Then speak that single sentence. I want to be helpful, and I need to check my capacity before I say yes. You do not need a thesis to justify your no. You need one clear boundary, one polite sentence, and follow through. The more you explain, the more you invite debate. Keep the door frame narrow so you can stand in it. Your tone stays warm. Your words stay simple. Your posture stays open. Micro practice for the next minute. Place your hand on your chest. Say quietly, I tell the truth kindly. Notice where your body softens. Then name one boundary you keep today. Say it out loud once, softly but firm. When your mouth tries to rush into automatic yes, your body often feels tight in the throat, hot in the cheeks, or heavy in the stomach. These are signals, not flaws. Treat them like a friend tapping your shoulder. You hear the tap, you pause, you choose the sentence that aligns with your values and your day. Thank you for thinking of me. I won't be able to take that on. At work, the stakes feel high because money and reputation sit beside you. Your boundary can still be graceful. You do not need to ask for permission to be clear. You do not need to apologize for having limits. You only need a sentence that holds. Work script face to face. To deliver quality, I can take one priority this week. Which should it be? Then you stop. Let the silence do some work. If a manager insists on more, repeat the boundary. Your calm repetition is the container. Micro practice. Open a blank email draft and type a ready subject, capacity update. In 2 lines, write, here is what I can complete by Friday. Here is what I will start next week. Save it. The next time your load creeps up, send it with small edits. Clear beats heroic and unclear. Friends bring joy, they also bring requests. You want to keep the friendship while keeping your center. You can do both. You offer warmth and a limit. You offer an alternative when possible, not as a debt, but as a choice. Friend script text, I love you and I'm staying in tonight. Want to pick a coffee next week so I can be present. Your friend hears affection and a boundary. If they push, you repeat the boundary without extra defense. Not this time, but I'm cheering for you. Family history can make boundaries feel risky. Old roles tug hard. The fixer, the peacemaker, the reliable one. You do not have to fight your family to change a role. You only need to act from a new one. You can be loving without agreeing. You can be respectful without complying. Family script call, I hear this matters to you. I'm not available for that plan. I'm happy to come for dinner on Sunday for 2 hours. You give a clear no and a clear yes. You anchor the time. You choose the shape that fits your life. Be kind, be clear, be consistent. Your voice grows strong when your inner voice and outer voice match. That means you stop selling yourself on maybes you already know are no. You stop over-explaining to earn safety. You start using short, complete sentences. The clarity is a kindness to both sides. A soft, steady no is a gift. It keeps the relationship honest. Micro practice. Pick one word that supports you, like steady or roots or clear. Whisper it as you walk to the next room. Let the words set your pace. Speak from that pace in your next conversation. Now let's name the money piece. People pleasing leaks money through impulse favors, guilt spending, and frantic fixes. You can love people without funding every whim. You can be generous on purpose. You create a simple promise with your money: values first, then plans, then comforts. You decide what gets your dollars before requests arrive. Here is a quick budget clarity reset. Name the top 3 values you want your money to express this month. Examples might be health, learning, and home. Put a rough number beside each, even if small. When a surprise ask appears, you check the list. If it does not serve a value, it waits. If it conflicts, it's a no. I'm prioritizing my essentials this month, so I'm skipping this expense. Another money script work setting. I don't have budget for that event. If attendance is required, please confirm the company will cover costs. You keep it professional and firm. You remove shame. You ask for clarity around money responsibilities. Micro practice. Open your notes and write one line: dollars follow values. Under it, write today's date and one purchase you will make with intention. Name the value it serves. Close the note. You just made your money a messenger of what matters. Your time is your life in calendar form. People-pleasing steals time with vague plans and open-ended help. You can shape your time into clean blocks. You decide the start and the stop. You offer clear choices when someone asks for more than you have. I have 1 hour for this and then I'm off. Where would you like to start? In conversations, your tone carries as much weight as your words. A warm, even tone calms the other person's nervous system and your own. Slow down, let your sentence end. When they react, you do not rush to fix their feeling. You hold your boundary and let the moment breathe. If you feel the urge to soften your no with too many reasons, try this. Give one reason if you wish, but keep it brief and factual. You are not on trial, you are providing information. One reason, one sentence, period. If they press, you repeat the boundary, not the story. Work email script. Thanks for the request. Given current commitments, I'm unavailable to join this initiative. If priorities shift, I'll revisit. That's it. No extra autobiography, no apology for being finite. Micro practice. Practice the phrase "not available" 3 times in a mirror with a small, kind smile. See how your shoulders drop, the words are crisp, your face is friendly. You are safe to say no. When you say no, you think you are closing a door forever. Most of the time, you are simply placing a hinge. A good hinge lets a door open and close smoothly. Boundaries are hinges. They allow movement without damage. You can say no today and yes another day when your capacity shifts. Your boundary keeps the door in good condition. You may fear that clarity makes you less liked. In truth, clarity makes you trustworthy. People learn what to expect from you. They stop guessing. They stop nudging. They come to you for real yesies because your yesies are solid. I want to give you a clear answer. It's a no for me. Family text script when a last-minute request lands. I'm not able to host tonight. If you want to plan for next month, I can commit to a Saturday brunch from 10 to noon. You model care without bending your whole day. Sometimes the hardest person to stop pleasing is your future critic. You imagine their disappointment and pay for it now with overwork. Speak to that version of you with compassion. You are not a disappointment for being human. You are a steward of your energy. Stewardship is not selfish. It is responsible. Micro practice. Put your palm flat on a table. Feel the surface hold you. Say, I am allowed to take up space. Then decide one small task you will release today, not because it is unworthy, but because you are choosing depth over scatter. Let's talk about follow-through. Boundaries are only as strong as the action behind them. If you cancel your boundary at the first sign of discomfort, you teach others to wait you out. If you keep it with kindness, you teach them how to be with you. Follow-through can feel awkward at first. Awkward is not wrong, awkward is new. When pushback comes, you do not escalate. You do not defend the past or predict the future. You return to the present request and your present capacity. You repeat your sentence with slight variation if needed. You redirect to options you can honor. If the other person becomes unkind, you add a boundary about tone. I want to continue this conversation, and I'm going to step away if the tone stays sharp. At work, redirect with structure. Given the deadline, I can deliver the report by Thursday if we remove the presentation. Which outcome matters more? You invite a choice. You do not carry both loads by default. You move from vague overload to clear trade-offs. Friend boundary in a group chat when plans sprawl. I'm in for dinner, not the after party. I'll say good night after the meal. You name your stop time in advance. You spare yourself the guilt spiral at midnight. You also need a boundary with yourself. The inner people pleaser promises too much even when no one asked. You are allowed to do good work at a human pace. You are allowed to rest without earning it. You are allowed to decline self-imposed extras that steal your evening. I'm choosing a quiet night to protect my energy. Money clarity again, this time with shared expenses. When a friend suggests an upscale venue out of your range, you do not ghost or overspend. You offer an honest alternative. That spot is out of my budget. I'm happy with the cafe on Maple. If the group insists on pricey, you bow out with care. Your budget is not a moral failing. It is a plan based on your reality. Micro practice, open your banking app and scan the last 5 line items. Circle one that did not align with your values. Whisper, I learn and adjust. Circle one that did align. Whisper more of this, close the app, no shame, just clarity. Notice how these practices bring you back into your body. Boundaries are not only sentences. They are sensations and choices. They are how your feet stand on the ground while your mouth tells the truth. You can feel tender and still be firm. You can feel nervous and still be clear. Courage often feels like gentle shaking paired with steady words. If someone accuses you of being selfish, you breathe. You remember that caring for your limits protects the relationship from resentment. You decline the label. You return to your sentence. You do not argue with a trap, you anchor in self-respect. I'm not available for labels. I've shared my limit and it stands. Family boundary in person when old topics stir conflict. I'm not discussing this subject. If it stays on the table, I'll head out early. I want a kind visit. You make the consequence clear without threat. You practice calm, consistent actions that match your words. When you review your day, spend a moment naming each boundary you kept. Celebrate small wins. You left a chat sooner than usual. You declined an extra shift. You stuck to your grocery list. These are proof points. Confidence grows from evidence. You are gathering it one choice at a time. Micro practice. Before bed, write one sentence in a notebook. Today I honored myself by. Finish it with one boundary you kept. Close the notebook. Sleep with that truth close. Your path out of people-pleasing is not a harsh break with your caring nature. It is a reorganization of it. Care for others and care for self sit side by side, hands on the same wheel. You steer from both. You are not trading kindness for steel. You are forging a kinder steel. I care about you and I'm choosing a different pace. The work continues tomorrow, but you have started. You have new sentences ready. You have small practices you can repeat. Your money has a simple plan. Your time has a shape. Your voice has weight. You are learning to be generous with your yes and faithful with your no. You are learning to speak clearly and stay kind. Yesterday you practiced saying short, kind sentences and felt what it is like when your words match your values. You learned to pause, to choose, and to let your money and time reflect what matters. Today you strengthen self-trust. People-pleasing loosens your grip on your own word. You say yes, then resent it. You promise too much, then rush to recover. Self-trust grows when you make smaller promises and keep them. Your confidence does not come from never wobbling. It comes from returning to your boundary with steadiness. You begin with one commitment to yourself that you can keep today. One page read before bed, one glass of water before coffee, one 10-minute walk between meetings. When you keep a promise like this, your nervous system learns that your word is reliable. Reliable does not mean rigid, it means believable. If guilt shows up when you say no, treat guilt as a weather pattern, not a verdict. Weather moves. You do not argue with rain or yell at the wind. You name it and choose your coat. When guilt passes through, you name it and choose your sentence. You do not fix the sky to feel worthy. You hold your course and let the clouds move. I care about this and I'm choosing a different answer. You will notice there are moments when you over-explain because silence feels dangerous. Silence is not danger. Silence is space for the other person to receive what you said. End your sentence. Breathe once. Let the space hold both of you. If they fill it with a push, you repeat your boundary without adding a long story. Work script, video call. To meet the deadline, I'm keeping my scope to the agreed deliverables. If something must be added, I'll need to remove something else. You are not defensive, you are specific. You invite a choice that honors reality. Micro practice. Open your calendar and block 2 small focus windows this week. Title them Keep My Word. Protect them like a meeting with a client. In those windows, complete one promise you already made to yourself or others. You are training your brain to expect follow-through. You also practice renegotiation. People-pleasing tells you that once you say yes, you must deliver at any cost. Healthy responsibility says you notify early when facts change. You do not disappear. You do not apologize for being mortal. You communicate with clarity and options. Work email script for renegotiation. I'm checking in early. Based on the updated requests, I can deliver the original report by Thursday or a revised version by Monday. Please confirm which path you prefer. You protect quality by inviting prioritization. You offer 2 doors so your no becomes a choice point, not a shutdown. Your friendships are living things. They need honesty to breathe. If you often say yes to plans you dread, you teach your friends to expect your presence but not your joy. That weakens the connection. Honesty strengthens it, even when your no disappoints in the moment. Disappointment is a clean feeling. Resentment is a sticky one. Choose the clean feeling. Friend script, voice note. I love being with you. This week I'm keeping my evenings light. Rain check for a Saturday walk. You let your friend feel what they feel. You keep your center. When they are a true friend, they adjust. When they cannot adjust, you learn something you needed to know. Micro practice. Put a small sticky note where you see it often. Write 3 words, want, can, will. Before you answer a request, ask yourself all 3. Do I want this? Can I do this? Will I keep this promise? If any answer is no, you craft a boundary. Family dynamics often trigger fast judgments inside you. You are 30 and still feel 12 when your aunt raises that topic or your parent uses that old tone. Your body time travels. Be gentle with that younger part. Bring yourself back to the present by naming the year in your head and feeling your feet. Then speak as the adult you are now. Family script, group chat. I won't join that debate. If we're planning the holiday, I'm in for a simple potluck, not hosting. You define the kind of participation you can offer. You cut the rope that drags you into old battles. You choose your lane and stay in it. Your focus matters because scattered attention is fertile ground for people-pleasing. When you feel vague inside, you grab other people's priorities to feel useful. You can change that by defining your target clearly each day. Focus is not a mood. Focus is a choice backed by structure. Choose a single most important task and a single next step. Then create a small barrier against distractions so you can begin. I'm unavailable for the next 40 minutes. I'll respond after 1. Money clarity today is about recurring commitments. Subscriptions, memberships, and small favors that become monthly. People-pleasing often hides here because you fear the tiny conflict of canceling. Remember, you are not rejecting a person when you change a service. You are aligning your dollars with your values. You can cancel with courtesy and keep your integrity. Money script customer support chat. Thank you for the service. I'm simplifying my budget and need to cancel today. Please confirm the cancellation date and any prorated refund. You ask for what you need without apology. You treat the agent with respect. You end the loop cleanly. Micro practice. Open your bank or card app. Filter for repeating charges. Pick one that no longer serves a current value. Cancel it or set a calendar reminder to cancel at the next cycle. Then write one line in your notes: I choose where my dollars go. This is not harsh. It is honest. Let's work with the fear of being seen as difficult. Many women are taught to earn safety by being easy. Easy becomes a costume that hurts to wear. You do not have to swing to the opposite extreme. You can be direct and warm, specific and kind. You can choose to be easy to collaborate with while being hard to push past your limits. When someone tries to make your boundary about your character, you decline the bait. Stay with the behavior and the request. Do not defend your goodness. Do not explain your whole history. Name what is happening and what you are willing to do next. I'm happy to discuss solutions. I'm not available for personal comments. At work, status pressure can nudge you into overcommitment. You nod along in meetings, then work late to make the nod true. Try this instead. Ask clarifying questions that surface hidden expectations. Clarifying is not confrontation. Clarifying is care for outcomes. Work script meeting table. To confirm, success looks like a 2-page summary with 3 recommendations by Friday. If that's correct, I can own it. If more depth is needed, I'll need a later date or another owner. You turn a vague ask into a clear agreement. You take responsibility for what you can control, not for other people's undefined hopes. Micro practice. Set a 1-minute timer and write a fast list titled "What I'm Not Doing This Week." Include tasks that sound noble but dilute your focus. Keep the list by your workstation. When a stray request arrives, check it against the list. If it belongs there, you decline. Friend boundaries sometimes involve money. Splitting bills can get messy when people are casual with numbers. Casual becomes costly over time. You can be generous and still ask for clarity. Speak early while the stakes are small. Use a tone that assumes everyone wants fairness. Friend script before the meal. Let's confirm we're splitting evenly, not covering tonight. Works for me if it works for you. If someone prefers separate checks, you smile and ask the server up front. You remove the awkwardness by naming the plan. You take care of your future self. You will also face moments when someone leans on your empathy to bypass your boundary. They tell you a sad story and wait for your yes. Your compassion is real. Your capacity is also real. You can be moved and still say no. When a story arrives, separate the feeling from the decision. Offer comfort without offering your schedule or budget if you do not have it. I'm sorry this is hard. I can't take this on and I'm rooting for you. Family finances can create pull. A sibling asks for a loan. A cousin wants you to co-sign. You care deeply. You decide in advance what role you are willing to play with money. Gifts you can afford with no strings might be on the table. Loans and co-signing might be off the table. Decide, then communicate clearly without moralizing. Family script call. I'm not able to lend or co-sign. If a gift of $50 helps for groceries this week, I can do that. You keep the relationship. You keep your plan. You ground the number in your reality. Micro practice. Write one value sentence for money. This month my dollars support. Fill it with 2 or 3 words. Maybe stability, health, learning. Place it near your wallet. Let it guide small choices at checkout and big ones in conversations. People-pleasing often hides in compliments and apologies. You apologize for existing. You compliment to smooth discomfort rather than to name truth. You can recalibrate both. Use apologies only when you caused harm or broke an agreement. Use gratitude more often than apology. Replace sorry for the delay with thank you for your patience. Replace sorry for asking with thank you for considering. At work, reshape how you negotiate time. Instead of saying yes and explaining later, explain before you say yes. Bring facts, not feels. Work script, chat message. I can send a draft by 3 if we skip the data appendix. If the appendix is required, the draft will be ready tomorrow by 10. You put time in numbers. You make trade-offs explicit. You invite a decision maker to decide. Your body is your ally. People-pleasing turns you into a floating head, making deals detached from the signals below the neck. Reattach. Before you answer, check 3 points: jaw, chest, belly. If they are tight, that is information. Tightness might mean your mouth is about to betray your capacity. Loosen your jaw, drop your shoulders, choose a true sentence. I need to check my schedule and will reply by 4. Sometimes the request is fine, but the method is draining. You might be willing to help with a task if you can do it your way. Offer the yes that fits. This is not slippery. This is precise. You design a yes that honors your skills and your energy. Friend script text. I can't help host the whole event. I'm happy to design the playlist and share it by Friday. You contribute with a clear boundary. You claim your lane. The friendship benefits from your honest capacity. Micro practice. Do a 60-second boundary rehearsal. Pick a mirror, a hallway, or your car. Say 3 lines you tend to avoid. 1 for work, 1 for friends, 1 for family. Speak them once each. Notice your feet on the ground. Notice your voice deepening on the last word. Your time boundaries need an exit plan. Many people say yes because they fear the moment of leaving. Decide your exit before you enter. Name your stop time at the start, then keep it. When the time arrives, you leave kindly. No hover, no half hour of lingering guilt. I'm heading out now. This was lovely. See you next time. Focus returns as you practice ending. Every clear ending creates room for a true beginning. When you leave on time, you show your brain that you can count on yourself. You clear the fog of overcommitment. You finish one thing today instead of starting 5 and resenting all of them. Depth over scatter is a choice you make sentence by sentence. Money shows the same pattern. Finish paying one small debt rather than juggling many. Finish canceling one unwanted charge rather than sorting your entire budget in a burst. Each completed action is proof. Proof reduces anxiety because your brain sees outcomes, not just intentions. Beware of polite manipulation dressed as urgency. Someone says, I need your answer right now, hoping to bypass your pause. You can slow the tempo without becoming adversarial. You are the steward of your pace. I decide by tomorrow at noon. If that timing doesn't work, feel free to move ahead without me. At work, managers and clients respect people who respect reality. When you make realistic commitments and meet them, your credibility grows. If someone pressures you to commit beyond reality, let the numbers speak. Numbers are neutral. Use them. Duration, budget, headcount. When numbers do not match the ask, the answer is not stubbornness. The answer is physics. Work script face-to-face. This task requires about 8 focused hours. I have 3 before Friday. If we want Friday, we need to reduce the scope or add another person. You are not complaining. You are measuring. You invite solutions. Family expectations can harden into tradition. You can honor tradition without obeying every detail. Offer what fits. Remove what hurts. If someone says, but we always, you can say, we're updating how we do it this year. Progress often sounds like heresy to someone who benefits from the old pattern. You can be kind while you change the shape. Family script in person. I'm joining for 2 hours, not the whole day. I'll bring dessert. You hold both affection and boundary in one breath. You train your nervous system to survive disappointment in the room. You discover you are sturdier than your fear predicted. Micro practice. Plan a tiny celebration for one boundary you will keep this week. It could be a quiet cup of tea after you send a hard email, a short walk after you say no, a favorite song after you leave on time. Celebration tells your brain this is the life you want more of. Your language choices shape how others respond. Replace vague maybe with clear yes or no when you know the answer. Replace I'll try with I will or I won't. Replace let me know with here are two options. Clarity is efficient. Efficiency is kind. I can do Tuesday at 10 or Wednesday at 2, which works. You are learning to protect your future self. Future you is real. She pays the bill for today's blurry yes or enjoys the ease created by today's clean no. Visualize her. See her walking into a day you shaped with intention. Speak on her behalf. She is grateful when you do. When you slip, which you will, repair without drama. Admit quickly, reset the agreement, and keep going. Slips are data, not doom. If you overcommitted, tell the truth, propose a realistic plan, and follow through. The person who keeps realistic agreements is trusted more than the person who makes grand promises and scrambles. I overestimated. Here is what I can deliver by Friday, and here is what moves to next week. You are building a simpler life that fits your hands. The steps are visible. Short sentences, early clarity, numbers that reflect reality. Money that matches values, friendships that breathe, family ties that include your needs. Work output you can stand behind. This is not perfection. This is alignment. As you close today's session, choose one sentence you will carry into your next conversation. Write it on a small card or in your notes. Read it once before you answer the next ask. Feel your ribs expand. Feel your feet on the floor. Speak with warmth and spine. Yesterday you practiced renegotiation, clear trade-offs, and a kinder pace for your yes and your no. You strengthened self-trust with small promises and aligned your money with your values. Today you deepen emotional boundaries. You protect your energy in real time, not just in hindsight. You learn to name what you feel without letting the feeling run the meeting. You learn to let other people have their weather while you keep your footing. You practice short sentences that carry warmth and weight, and you build rituals that help your body release tension after hard talks so you do not carry it into the next room. Begin with the idea of emotional ownership. You own your feelings, they own theirs. Ownership is not blame. Ownership is responsibility. When you hold your own feelings, you stop outsourcing your calm to other people's reactions. You stop performing a yes to escape discomfort. You start living at a pace that lets you hear yourself. I respect your view, and my answer stays the same. Micro practice, place your feet flat on the ground. Name 3 things you can see, 2 you can hear, 1 you can feel. This orienting brings your nervous system into the room so you respond from presence, not from panic. When tension rises, your brain wants to sprint into fixing mode. Fixing mode burns energy fast and often backfires. Instead, try labeling. Label the moment in simple terms and give it a boundary of time or topic. Labels calm your system because they turn chaos into a frame you can step into. Face-to-face at work, this is a high-stakes moment. Let's keep to the decision at hand and park side issues for tomorrow. You reduce the sprawl, you claim a lane, you protect the outcome from becoming a personality trial. Emotionally charged requests often arrive with urgency. Urgency is not always real. Even when it is, you still get to choose your process. You can respect the need without surrendering your clarity. You can move quickly without moving blindly. I can answer by 4 after I review the details. Micro practice. Create a one-line pause script for yourself and save it as a text replacement on your phone. Type 2 letters and it expands into, I saw your message and will reply by. Fill the time when needed. Your future self thanks you. Friends sometimes want you as a constant buffer, the person who smooths every bump. That role is heavy. You can be supportive without being on call. Define how you support best. A weekly walk, a check-in text, a precise task, not open-ended emotional labor. Friend script text, I'm not available for late-night venting this week. I can do a lunchtime call on Thursday to brainstorm next steps. You stay connected while setting hours. The friendship becomes healthier because it grows within a shape that both of you can keep. Some conversations require a boundary about tone. You are not responsible for policing other people's emotions. You are responsible for the conditions you allow in your space. Set the tone boundary early and calmly. You do not need perfect words, you need a simple line you can repeat. I want a respectful conversation. If the volume or language stays high, I'll pause and come back later. Family dynamics can flip old switches fast. When an old script tries to cast you as the fixer, shift the scene by asking a question that directs responsibility back to its proper place. Questions can be boundaries in disguise. They stop the automatic yes and reveal the actual need. Family script call, what have you already tried and what are you willing to do next? Then listen. If they ask you to take over, you can decline without drama and offer a smaller, doable contribution if you choose. Micro practice, write a 2-line boundary plan for the next family gathering. What I will do, what I will not do, keep it in your pocket. When the moment arrives, touch the note. It will steady your hand and your voice. Let's talk about emotional spillover at work. A tense meeting can follow you into your next task like a shadow. Rituals help you cut the cord. Rituals do not need to be grand. Small, repeatable actions signal to your brain that the scene has changed. Work reset ritual, close the meeting window, stand, roll your shoulders, drink water, and write a single sentence in your notes, meeting over. Now I do one thing, then do that one thing for 10 focused minutes. You reclaim your attention by getting traction. I'm stepping away for 10 minutes to reset, then I'll follow up with a summary. Money clarity today focuses on emotional spending and social pressure. When you feel anxious, you might spend to buy relief or approval. Relief fades. The charge stays. Approval is fickle. Your values are not. Build a small buffer between emotion and purchase. A buffer can be a time rule, a dollar rule, or a values check. I decide tomorrow, if it still serves my top values, I'll buy it. Micro practice? Set a 24-hour rule for non-essentials over $50. Save the item, write the value it serves, and revisit the next day. If your body feels calm and your value still fits, proceed. If not, you just saved dollars and energy. At work, unpaid extra labor hides in phrases like just a quick favor or it won't take long. Those phrases minimize effort to bypass your boundary. Translate them into real time in your head, then respond with a number and a choice. Work chat script, that looks like about 3 hours. I can do it next week, or if it's urgent, who can shift something off my plate so I can take this? Numbers are neutral. They bring the ask into reality and invite reallocation instead of secret overtime. When a friend invites you to an expensive plan and you feel the tug to go along, name your budget without apology and suggest an alternative that preserves connection. This is not about being cheap. It is about being honest and sustainable. I'm keeping it modest this month, happy to do a picnic in the park. Family money boundaries can be the hardest because love and obligation weave together. You can care deeply and still set limits. You can give in a way that does not endanger your stability. Decide your ceiling in private before the conversation. Then speak clearly and kindly. Repeat as needed. Family script message: I can contribute $100 toward the gift. That's my max this time. If the group chooses a higher-priced option, your boundary still stands. Love is not measured by how high you stretch beyond your means. Micro practice? Open a fresh note titled Money Stories. Write one old story you are ready to retire, like saying no with money makes me selfish. Replace it with a true line, saying no with money makes my giving honest. Read it once in the morning for a week. Now we deepen the craft of a clean no. A clean no has three parts: recognition, boundary, and when appropriate, an option you can keep. Recognition shows you heard the person. The boundary states your limit. The option, if offered, is a path you can truly walk. I appreciate the invite. I'm not available for the event, and I can donate a small prize for the raffle. Micro practice. Practice the three parts out loud with an everyday ask. Keep each part to one sentence. Hear how calm you sound when you do not defend or over-explain. Your focus strengthens when you plan your energy, not just your hours. Different tasks pull different weights on your nervous system. Pair heavy emotional tasks with light logistical ones. Place recovery pockets between hard conversations so you do not stack emotional sprints back to back. I'll need a buffer after that meeting. I can start the next task at 2. Diffuse power dynamics can make you shrink. You are in a room with a person who carries authority and your words get smaller. Authority does not erase your boundary. Prepare one concise line that puts a stake in the ground. Speak it once evenly and let it stand. Work script, boardroom. To maintain quality and staff well-being, we cannot proceed without a realistic timeline. Here are 2 that work. You bring the solution with the boundary. You tie human needs to outcomes, not to personal preference. When someone reacts strongly to your boundary, resist the scramble to soften the limit with extras you cannot keep. A strong reaction does not mean you did harm. It means your limit bumped into their expectation. Let the wave pass. You can acknowledge feelings without changing the boundary. I hear you're disappointed. My answer remains no. Micro practice. After any hard conversation, write 3 lines: what I did well, what I will refine, what I will repeat next time. Keep it brief. This turns discomfort into data and speeds your learning curve. You may carry shame about past people-pleasing. Shame says you are weak for not holding your boundaries sooner. Release it. You did what you knew to feel safe. Now you know more. Strength is not never bending. Strength is noticing sooner and choosing differently faster. You are doing that today. Repair is part of healthy boundaries. When you misstep or when your no lands clumsily, you can repair without erasing the boundary. Repair sounds like care, clarity, and commitment to do better. I'm sorry my tone was sharp. My limit is the same and I'll say it more calmly now. Let's refine digital boundaries. Your phone invites you to be available to everyone always. Availability without edges dissolves focus and fuels people-pleasing. Decide your response windows. Decide which channels are for urgent matters and which are not. Communicate the plan so others are not left guessing. Work status message. Focused work block 9 to 11. I'll reply after. Friend status text. Phone down this evening. I'll catch up tomorrow. Simple, visible signals reduce pressure on both sides. Micro practice. Move your messaging apps off your home screen for one day. Place a single shortcut that opens your calendar or a note. Notice how much quieter your mind feels when the first tap directs you to your plan, not to other people's impulses. Sometimes the kindest boundary is ending a role you have outgrown. The helper, the default organizer, the fixer. Retire the role with gratitude, not with a blow-up. Announce the change, give reasonable notice, and if appropriate, offer a simple handover. Work email script. I've appreciated owning the onboarding checklist. To align with my current scope, I'll complete the next cycle and document the process by the end of the month. After that, it will need a new owner. You exit with respect. You do not ghost a responsibility you can cleanly transition. With friends, ending a role might look like stepping back from being the constant planner. You can still love your people without carrying the clipboard. Name the change and invite shared ownership. Friend script, group chat. I'm stepping back from organizing monthly dinners, happy to vote on dates and show up. Who wants to take the lead next round? You invite a more balanced friendship where participation beats martyrdom. Family roles run deep. Retiring one might require more repetition. Hold steady. When someone says, but you answer, I'm doing it differently now. No defense, no long speech. Your actions will teach the new pattern. Give it time. I'm not taking that on anymore. I trust you to figure out what works next. Money again, this time on rates and raises. If your work is underpriced because you fear seeming demanding, remember, asking for market value is clarity, not greed. Prepare your number with data and practice the sentence until it sits easily in your mouth. Then ask cleanly. Work script meeting. Based on contributions and market benchmarks, I'm requesting an adjustment to this salary range. Here are the outcomes I've delivered this year. You keep your ask in numbers and outcomes. You let silence do some work after you speak. Micro practice. Write your rate or salary target on a small card with 3 bullet points of proof. Read it once a day for a week. This is not magic. It is rehearsal that programs your nervous system to carry the ask with calm. As you refine boundaries, kindness remains your signature. Kindness is not the same as compliance. Kindness is precise, timely, and honest. It includes you. If your kindness excludes you, it is not kindness. It is performance. Let your kindness be real by letting it include your limits. Thank you for understanding. Holding this line helps me show up well next time. You may worry that the people who liked your always yes will drift. Some will. Make peace with that. Your life is not a lobby designed to keep every guest comfortable forever. It is a home with doors and rooms and a layout that fits you. Some visitors will love it more. Some will visit less. Your job is to make the home livable for the person who lives there every day. Focus, once more, is the anchor that keeps you from drifting into other people's currents. Start your day by naming one outcome that matters and 3 micro steps. When a flashy request pops up, compare it to your outcome. If it does not move the outcome, it waits. If it tries to climb the queue, you communicate the trade-off before you agree. I'm committed to finishing the report today. If this takes priority, the report moves to tomorrow. Which do you prefer? Micro practice. Set a 60-second timer and clear one small visual distraction from your workspace. A tidy surface reduces cognitive load and makes it easier to hold a boundary with your attention. As you close today's session, remember that boundaries are not cliffs. They are paths. You walk them daily, sometimes steady, sometimes wobbly, always learning. You cannot please everyone and live your own life. You can care for many and still care for yourself. You can choose clarity without cruelty. You can stand where you stand and speak with a voice that is both warm and firm. I choose the pace that keeps me honest. Yesterday, you practiced emotional ownership, tone boundaries, and small rituals that helped you reset after hard moments. You kept your money and attention from being pulled by urgency, and you let other people feel what they feel while you kept your footing. Today, you refine clarity under pressure. You learn how to hold a line when stakes rise, how to de-escalate without surrendering your limits, and how to turn conflict into cleaner agreements. You bring more precision to time, scope, and money. You make space for your needs without crowding out care for others. Begin with agreement design. Most conflicts are not about goodness. They are about mismatched expectations. When you design agreements upfront, you remove guesswork. Say what you will do, by when, to what standard, and through which channel. Ask for the same in return. Clear agreements reduce the need for rescue and reduce the temptation to please by overextending. I can deliver a draft by Thursday at noon, and I'll confirm receipt in chat. Work script kickoff meeting. Let's lock the deliverable, owner, deadline, and check-in points. If any part changes, we'll confirm in writing before we proceed. You anchor accountability. You prevent scope from expanding in the shadows. Micro practice. Open a fresh note titled Agreements. Write one current task and add 4 words beneath it. What, who, when, how, fill each with one short phrase. Send that note to the people involved or keep it visible for your own follow-through. When pressure climbs, your body wants to rush into soft yes or hard no. Instead, use a holding line that buys you clarity time without leaving the person hanging. A holding line is a promise to decide by a precise moment. It turns panic into a plan. I'll review and reply by 3 with a clear yes or no. Friends sometimes mistake your availability for affection. You can show affection without being always on. Offer predictable rhythms instead of constant access. Predictability soothes relationships far better than non-stop presence fueled by guilt. Friend script text, I'm offline most evenings. Sundays work well for catch-ups. Wanna pick a time this week? You keep the friendship steady by giving it a shape you can keep. Micro practice, set a 1-minute timer and draft a status line for your messaging app that communicates your availability today. Use calm language. Update it now. Clarity saves you from many tiny micro people pleases across the next hours. Family habits often blur lines between request and duty. Untangle them gently. When a family ask arrives wrapped in tradition, separate the tradition from the logistics. Offer a version you can sustain. Family script, voice call, I love being together. I can bring sides and stay 2 hours, not host. If that works, I'm in. You honor the bond without mortgaging your energy. In negotiations, avoid the trap of inflating your yes to prove goodwill. Prove goodwill with reliability, not overreach. Reliability comes from the math of your time and budget. Put numbers on the table early. Numbers are not cold, numbers are honest. I have 6 work hours left this week. I can give 2 to this. What should it replace? Money clarity today centers on values and buffers. You build a small freedom fund so your no does not depend on a specific person's mood. Even a modest buffer changes your posture. You stand straighter when you know you can cover a surprise bill or say no to a misaligned gig. Start small. Consistency beats spectacle. Micro practice. Move $10 into a labeled savings bucket named breathing room. If 10 is too much, move 1. Labeling matters. The bucket exists now. You will feed it in tiny, regular bites. Social spending is where people-pleasing sneaks in. You say yes to the pricey brunch because the table expects it. Shift the table by naming your plan early and offering a pleasant alternative that fits the vibe without draining your account. I'm keeping it simple this month. I'm in for coffee and a walk by the river. At work, escalation can feel like a threat to your steadiness. You can escalate with respect. Name the impact. Ask for a decision. Keep your tone measured. Escalation is not anger. Escalation is clarity moving to the right altitude. Work email script. To protect the deadline, I'm escalating the resource gap. We need one of 2 adjustments by end of day, add a contributor or move the date. Please advise. You point to outcomes. You do not apologize for seeing reality. Micro practice. Write a 1-sentence escalation template in your notes. I'm elevating X to confirm Y by Z. Keep it handy. When you need it, you paste and customize in seconds. You also refine how to say no to vague favors that nibble away your day. Vague asks are invitations to scope creep. Make them concrete or decline. When you ask clarifying questions, you are not being difficult. You are preventing invisible labor. What does done look like, and how long do you expect it to take? For friends, practice generosity with edges. You can offer rides, meals, or help with kids while naming your limit. The limit protects the gift. It keeps you available next time, not burned out after one heroic yes. Friend script doorstep. I can watch the kids until 6. After that, I need to head out. You serve with a clock. You keep trust on both sides. Conflict repair matters when your boundary lands sharper than you intended. Repair does not cancel the boundary. Repair softens the edges so connection remains. The formula is simple: acknowledge impact, restate the limit, propose a next step. I'm sorry my tone was abrupt earlier. My limit is the same. I'm ready to pick a plan that works for both of us. Micro practice. After a tough exchange, step into the hallway or a quiet space. Inhale for 4 counts, exhale for 6. Then ask yourself one question: what is the smallest true sentence I need to say next? Return and say that one sentence. Your focus strengthens through finish lines. People-pleasing scatters you because you start many things to make others happy. Choose one task to complete before you open a new door. Completion is confidence. Confidence reduces the urge to please through overpromising. I'm finishing this chapter by noon. I'll reply after. Meetings often breed accidental commitments. End every meeting with a short verbal or written recap. Ask for confirmation in the room. You are not being redundant. You are building a fence around your time. Work script, end of meeting, confirming next steps. I own the draft by Thursday. Maya owns the numbers and we review Friday at 10. If I missed anything, say it now. You leave with a clean map. Money can be a boundary tool inside your calendar. Tie spending to the rhythm of your month so you are not negotiating every invite from scratch. Decide in advance which weeks are lean and which are flexible. Tell your friends the plan so the no is not personal. It is schedule math. I do low spend the first week of the month. After the 10th, I have more room. Micro practice. Create a simple 3-bucket view for this month. Needs, joy, give. Write a rough number for each. When a new ask appears, place it in a bucket. If the bucket is full, the answer is a kind no or a plan for next month. Sometimes the boundary is about topics, not tasks. You can decline a subject to protect peace without shutting down the entire relationship. Offer a lane you will walk and close the lane you will not. I'm not discussing politics today. I'm happy to hear about your garden. Family events can trigger old comparisons and commentary. Prepare one line that protects your worth when someone evaluates your life. You do not defend your choices to pass a test you did not sign up for. You keep your dignity with a simple redirect. Family script, kitchen table. I'm content with my path. Let's talk about plans for dessert. When someone uses guilt to pry open your boundary, name the pattern without accusation and rest your case. Most guilt loses power when the light is on. You do not debate your goodness. You describe the move and reassert your limit. I'm hearing guilt language. My answer is still no. Micro practice. Write 3 phrases that name patterns without blame. I'm hearing urgency. I'm noticing a shift in scope. I'm sensing pressure on my no. Keep them in your pocket for live use. Your digital life needs a boundary around group chats that never sleep. Muted is not mean. Mute protects attention and reduces the compulsion to respond to every ping to prove loyalty. Tell the group how you will engage so the silence does not create a story. I mute the thread during work hours. I'll check in the evening. At work, protect deep focus with office hours. Office hours are a boundary that invites access without dissolving your day. They train others to bundle requests. They train you to stop context switching that drains your mind. Work script, all hands message. I'm setting office hours 2 to 4 on Tuesdays and Thursdays for quick reviews and questions. Drop in then or send a note to schedule. You put a container around collaboration. Everyone wins. Money requests from acquaintances require extra care. You can be kind without becoming a walking wallet. Decline cleanly, and if you wish, offer a resource rather than your funds. Your budget is not a character flaw. It is a plan. I'm not able to contribute money. Here are 2 community resources that might help. Micro practice. For the next 60 seconds, practice saying no while keeping your eyes gentle and your voice low. Repeat 3 times. Your body learns that calm no is safe. When someone tries to renegotiate your no in public to corner you, move the conversation to a private channel or to time-bound terrain. Public pressure is a tactic. You are not obliged to perform compliance for an audience. Happy to discuss one-on-one after this. My answer stays no for now. You will face days when you slip into pleasing to keep the peace. When you notice it, do not spiral. Send a quick correction. Corrections are signs of strength. They show you can steer mid-course, not just at the start. Work follow-up note: I overcommitted in the meeting. Here is what I can deliver by Friday. For the rest, we need a new plan. You correct before resentment sets in. Your attention is a finite resource that deserves a budget as much as your dollars do. Budget attention in blocks and guard the edges. When you let one block overrun, name the overrun and reset the next. This honesty with yourself trains self-respect. I'm closing this tab now and returning it to micro practice. Do a 60-second audit of your open tabs or apps. Close 3 that are not serving your current task. The quiet you create is a boundary you can feel. When your boundary disappoints someone you love, sit with them without fixing. You can be present with their feeling while keeping your line. Presence is not permission. Presence is companionship. Your calm makes room for their grief to move through and for the relationship to find its new shape. I'm here with you, my no stands, and I care. As you end today's session, picture your life as a garden. Boundaries are the fence, the path, and the schedule for watering. They do not reduce beauty, they protect it. You are learning to tend your garden with wise limits, honest agreements, and money that waters what you truly want to grow. You are steadying your focus so the flowers you plant have time to bloom. You speak clearly, you stay kind, you keep your word to yourself and to others who meet you in clarity. This is the voice you carry forward. Yesterday, you learned to design clear agreements, hold a line under pressure, and use numbers to keep scope and time honest. You also practiced escalation with respect and protected your attention with simple finish lines. Today, you practice sustainable strength. You will learn how to keep boundaries steady over weeks, not just in a single conversation. You will craft rituals that renew your energy, scripts that travel with you, and choices that make your days simpler. You are not chasing perfect control. You are building reliable rhythms. The aim is a life where your yes means yes, your no means no, and your kindness includes you. Start with maintenance. A boundary kept once is an event. A boundary kept repeatedly is a habit. Habits carry you when your mood wobbles. Think of 3 kinds of maintenance: daily pause, weekly review, monthly realignment. The daily pause lets you respond, not react. The weekly review helps you see patterns before they harden. The monthly realignment ensures your values still steer your calendar and your dollars. Micro practice. Right now, take one slow breath in, one slow breath out. Ask, what is my next true action? Say it once out loud in 7 words or fewer, then do that one thing next. When you feel pulled to explain yourself, remember that stability speaks quietly. You do not need an essay to justify care for your capacity. You need a steady sentence. If someone keeps asking, you do not add layers. You repeat the line, change the channel, or step away. Repetition is not rudeness. Repetition is clarity. I've shared my limit. My answer remains the same. Self-advocacy at work is a practice of framing. You frame your capacity as a path to outcomes, not as a personal flaw. You bring options and trade-offs so the conversation becomes collaborative. You decline martyr assignments by replacing vague goodwill with specific plans. You keep your credibility by keeping your word, and you protect your word by committing to what fits. Work script, message thread. I can own the client memo by Thursday if we move my Tuesday review to next week. If the review must stay, someone else will need to draft the memo. You are not pleading. You are reallocating in plain language. You invite leadership to choose. Micro practice? Open your task list and label 3 items with a single letter. A for outcomes that truly move the needle, B for support tasks, C for nice to have. Then choose 1A to finish before touching the rest. This protects your focus from the pull to please with motion instead of results. Friendship thrives with honest edges. If you are the reliable responder, people will learn to lean on your speed. Reliability is good. Reflex is not. Build friendly delay. Delay gives you space to check capacity and desire. You can be warm and not instant. I saw your message. I'll reply tonight after I look at my day. Family loyalty can clash with self-loyalty. You can honor both by naming a boundary and offering a specific kindness that fits. You are not the family's emergency generator on call forever. You are a person with a life who loves and who decides. Family script text: I can't host the sleepover. I can pick up the kids Saturday at 10 and take them to the park for 2 hours. You remain part of the solution without sacrificing your week. Let's talk momentum. People-pleasing runs on momentum because saying yes often creates a cascade of extra steps. Interrupt the cascade early. If a task morphs, pause and ask for a reset. If a chat becomes a debate, narrow the topic. If your calendar starts to crowd, cancel one thing before you add a new one. Interruptions like these keep you from waking up in a life that belongs to your default settings. I'm pausing here. Let's confirm the new scope before I continue. Money clarity today is about values in action. You choose one spending ritual that expresses who you are and one saving ritual that protects who you are becoming. The ritual makes decisions easier because you have a template. You are not arguing with every invite. You are matching choices to a pattern that you created. Micro practice? Create a one-line rule for this month. I spend freely on and I say no to. Fill each blank with one value like books and impulse decor. Read it before you open a shopping app. This tiny rule shapes dozens of choices without mental wrestling. Renewal matters because boundaries draw on energy. You need refills. Refills are not rewards for perfect behavior. Refills are fuel. Rest is not earned by exhausting yourself. Rest is a baseline that keeps your voice steady and your face kind. Choose renewal habits that actually renew you, not habits that perform rest while keeping you wired. I'm taking the next 15 minutes offline to reset. Work cultures sometimes glorify self-erasure in the name of team spirit. You can love the team and still refuse to burn out. Anchor your contributions in sustainable agreements. When culture nudges you toward heroic, step back toward human. Humans do their best work over time with oxygen and sleep and honest bandwidth. Work script 1-on-1. I want to perform well long term. To do that, I'm setting a sustainable pace. Here's how I'll structure my week, and here are the hours I won't be online. Leadership appreciates reliability. Teach them how to rely on you. Micro practice? Schedule a 5-minute weekly calendar cleanup. Delete or decline one recurring meeting that no longer serves your role. If you cannot delete, shorten it by asking for a tighter agenda. 5 minutes returns hours over a month. In friendships, name your communication style so people are not left guessing. Guessing breeds stories, stories breed tension. A single line sets expectations and reduces the pressure that feeds people-pleasing. I reply in batches midday and evening. If something is urgent, call me. Family history sometimes amplifies your yes because you are trying to outrun an old label. Selfish, difficult, ungrateful. You do not need to run. You can retire the label by refusing to wear it. You do that by living your values calmly and consistently, not by producing sacrifice to earn approval that never stays. I love you and I'm making a different choice. Recovery is a crucial skill. Recovery means you notice when you slipped into a false yes and you correct quickly. Recovery is not a confession booth. It is a pivot. You send one clear follow-up, you propose a realistic change, and you stop digging. Corrections build trust over time because people learn that you will tell the truth even when it is awkward. Work correction, email, I overcommitted in the rush. I can deliver the analysis section by Friday. For the case studies, I propose next Wednesday or a new owner. Short, specific, stable. Micro practice, write a 2-sentence correction template in your notes. I said yes too quickly. Here is what I can do by. Use it the next time you need to pivot. The template protects you from over-explaining. Your attention is shaped by physical spaces. Clutter invites distraction. A simple boundary with your environment helps your brain stay on task and say no without effort. You remove the friction that pushes you toward easy yeses. I'm stepping into a quiet spot to give this my full focus. Money boundaries with loved ones can be designed before the ask arrives. Decide your policies in calm weather. Policy beats panic. A policy might be, I only give gifts, not loans. Another might be, I contribute to group gifts up to a set amount. When the request comes, you follow your policy, not your spike of fear or guilt. Family script message, I don't do loans. If a gift helps, I can do $75 this time. The wording is simple. The boundary is firm. The relationship remains human. Leadership roles can test your boundaries because people read your yes as permission for unlimited access. Lead with examples. Protect your deep work. Show your team that healthy limits are part of high performance. Give others permission by modeling it yourself. Work script team channel. Quiet block 9 to noon for deep work. Ping me after noon for quick questions. For emergencies, use the red tag. You teach the team a rhythm that respects brains and deadlines. Micro practice. Create a tiny end-of-day ritual. Write tomorrow's top outcome on a sticky note and put it on your keyboard. This gives your morning a slope to slide down and reduces the urge to accept random requests just to feel momentum. In friendships, endings deserve care. When a pattern with someone consistently drains you and repair efforts fail, an exit can be both kind and necessary. You do not need to deliver a character judgment. You can communicate your truth about the pattern and what you are choosing. Friend script message, I care about you. The dynamic between us has felt heavy for a while and I need distance. I'm stepping back from contact for now, wishing you well. This is not a performance. It is an honest step taken without drama. Focus is easier when your tools support it. Use simple defaults that reduce choices. One notebook for tasks, one calendar for time, one money app for tracking. Consolidation reduces the micro-anxieties that push you to say yes to everything because you cannot see what you already carry. I'll check my single list and confirm by noon. Generosity with boundaries is strong generosity. Decide your giving lanes. Maybe you donate monthly to a cause that reflects your values. Maybe you keep a small envelope for spontaneous gifts. When a random request lands, you compare it to your lanes. If it fits, you give. If not, you bless and decline. I give through my monthly plan. I won't contribute here, and I wish you a great outcome. Micro practice. Move $5 to your giving bucket right now or set a reminder to do it on payday. Label the bucket with the value it serves, like community or justice. Labels remind your heart why your dollars move. Your body signals boundary fatigue before your mind admits it. Watch for irritability, zoning out, and craving distraction. These are invitations to reset, not to push harder. A 2-minute walk, a glass of water, a change of posture can reboot your ability to choose cleanly. You are not a brain on a stick. You are a system that benefits from small maintenance. I need a quick reset. I'll be back in 5. Work politics can tempt you into pleasing the loudest voice. Anchor to outcomes and written agreements. When a loud voice pressures you to bend those, return to the document or the plan. Papers and plans protect you from personality storms. Work script meeting. Per the agreed plan, my deliverable is the analysis, not presentation. If priorities have changed, let's update the plan together. You stay steady by letting the agreement speak with you. Micro practice. Before a high-stakes call, place both feet on the floor and press them down for 10 seconds. This tiny move grounds your nervous system and helps your voice stay even. Family gatherings often come with commentary about your choices. Prepare 2 neutral redirects that move the conversation to safe ground without spiking conflict. You are not obliged to debate your life over dessert. I'm happy with my decisions. How's your garden doing this season? With friends, guard the open-ended favor that becomes a job. Define start and stop. If the task grows, renegotiate or bow out. A friendship is not a contract for unlimited labor. Healthy friendships survive a gentle no. If they do not, the task was never the issue. I can help for 30 minutes. If it needs more, I'm not your best person. Money and time both show respect when you finish and close loops. Close the budget by reconciling one small category. Close the task by sending the deliverable and the summary. Closure calms anxiety. Calm makes boundaries easier because you are not chasing loose ends while fending off new asks. Micro practice. Send one 2-line follow-up right now, what you delivered, what happens next, then check it off. Your brain exhales. As you strengthen these rhythms, you might feel grief for lost versions of you, the always available friend, the last-minute hero, the discount worker. Grief is not a sign that you chose wrong. It is a sign that you are leaving a familiar coping pattern. Honor what that pattern tried to do for you. It kept you safe once. Thank it. Then keep walking. I'm choosing a steadier way, even when it feels new. In your day-to-day, you will sometimes feel the urge to prove worth by overfunctioning. That urge can be strong in rooms where others underfunction. Resist the vacuum. Let natural consequences teach. When you always step in, you remove learning from the system and load it onto your back. You can care and still let the system feel its own weight. Work script team thread. I won't be picking this up. It needs an owner aligned to that role. Clear, brief, and honest. Focus returns now to a simple truth about boundaries. They depend on your relationship with time. When you see time as a scarce, shame-laden resource, you will give it away to feel generous. When you see time as a canvas you are allowed to paint, you will choose colors and protect the space. Protecting the space is not selfish. It is the only way to create a life you recognize. I'm keeping this afternoon clear for deep work. Micro practice. Choose a 2-hour window this week and label it with a single outcome. Put your phone in another room. Tell one person who might interrupt. Then honor the window like you would honor a doctor's appointment. As you close today, remember that sustainable strength is not loud. It is quiet repetition. It is the email you send on time because you said you would. It is the night you go to bed when you plan to. It is the small dollar you move to savings every week, the small yes that fits, the small no that protects. These choices accumulate into a life with room to breathe and love to give. You speak with warmth and weight. You keep your edges soft and real. You move through rooms with a presence that says, I know my pace, I know my values, I know my limits. That presence invites respect not because you demand it, but because you live it. This is the pace that keeps me honest and kind. Yesterday you built sustainable strength with simple rhythms. You practiced daily pause, weekly review, and monthly realignment so your yes and no stayed steady over time. Today you apply that steadiness to real-life edges. Travel plans, holidays, tight deadlines, caregiving, and money with friends can all tug you back into automatic yes. You will learn how to slow the tug, make clean agreements, and hold the line with warmth. You will protect your mornings, guard your evenings, and keep your budget and calendar aligned with your values. You will walk into tricky rooms with sentences ready and a body that knows how to stand. Start with your day's edges because people-pleasing often slips in at the borders. Mornings get taken by other people's priorities. Nights get swallowed by messages that can wait. Create two bookends, a clear start and a clean stop. You decide when you become available and when you power down. Tell people early. Repetition will teach them the rhythm. I'm online from 9 to 6 on weekdays. Outside those hours, I respond the next day. Work tries to jump the fence with red alerts that are not emergencies. Distinguish urgent from important. Urgent is loud. Important is aligned to outcomes. When a loud ping arrives, ask two questions in your head. What outcome does this serve and what does it displace? If the displacement hurts priority work, you answer with a boundary and an option. Work script, team chat. I'm in a focus block on the Q3 analysis. If this is critical to launch, I can switch after 2. Otherwise, I'll review at 4. You protect deep work while staying collaborative. You let the requester decide if the switch is worth the trade. Micro practice. Set one sentence as your desktop wallpaper or phone lock screen. Protect the first hour. Use that hour for your top outcome, not for inbox. For 1 week, treat the first hour as sacred. The first hour teaches your brain whose day this is. Holidays and family traditions often come with old expectations. You can love your people and still choose a plan that fits your energy and budget. Decide travel dates, contribution, and time windows before the conversation. Then speak in specifics. Specifics reduce debate and turn fog into a map. Family script, group text. I'll be in town Saturday noon to Monday morning. I can bring 2 dishes and help set up. I'm leaving by 8 on Sunday night. You offer presence, not unlimited access. You skip the long defense and let the plan stand. When a family member pushes for more, repeat your plan once and return to connection. If pressure continues, add a tone boundary and a consequence you can keep. I want a kind visit. If this keeps feeling pressured, I'll step away for a while and rejoin later. Shared trips with friends are a classic place where people-pleasing drains money. Costs balloon, roles blur, and someone ends up paying the price for harmony. You avoid that by naming budget and lanes before you book. Decide whether you split evenly or pay by usage. Decide a ceiling for the trip and stick to it without apology. Friend script, planning chat. My budget for the weekend is $400 total, including food. I'm good with a shared house if we split evenly, and I'm skipping add-ons over my cap. You give your number, you give the rule, you keep the friendship by keeping yourself. Money clarity lives in simple containers called sinking funds. A sinking fund is a small bucket you fill a little at a time for known, irregular costs like travel or gifts. It turns last-minute pressure into calm yes or clear no. When the bucket is full, it's a yes. When it isn't, it's a no or a plan for later. Micro practice. Create 2 named buckets today, travel and gifts. Move $10 into each or set a tiny weekly transfer. Labeling the buckets rewires your brain from guilt to plan. At work, feedback conversations can tempt you to abandon your own evaluation and chase approval. You do not need to perform humility by promising impossible stretch. Anchor your response in outcomes, not in self-critique spirals. Invite specifics and propose a cadence that fits. Work script, one-on-one. I appreciate the feedback. To focus my growth, which 2 outcomes matter most this quarter? If we agree on those, I'll report progress every other Friday. You keep the scope tight so you can deliver. You replace vague overcommitment with measurable targets. When someone asks to borrow your time through the back door of a compliment, notice the move. You can receive the kind words and still hold the line. Flattery is not a contract. Your boundary protects the quality that earned the compliment. I'm glad my work helps. I don't have bandwidth to take this on. Caregiving is love, and love needs structure. If you are caring for a child, a partner, or an elder, your yes can feel sacred. It is. That is why it needs a plan. Name hours, tasks, costs, and backup support. Ask for shared responsibility across the family or community rather than doing invisible labor until you collapse. Your clarity creates actual care instead of martyrdom. Family script call. I can drive to appointments on Tuesdays and cover groceries up to $100 a week. I cannot do overnights. Let's assign the other tasks so nothing falls through. You protect your health and the person you love by asking for distribution instead of doing it all. Micro practice. List the 3 heaviest caregiving tasks you carry. Write one sentence beside each. I will do, I will not do, I will request. Send one request within 24 hours. This is not selfish. This is sustainable love. Now refine how you say no in public settings where a fast yes is expected. The room laughs, the leader looks at you, and a volunteer role magically becomes yours. Break the spell with a pause and a clear process. You do not need to become the difficult one. You need a sentence that honors the group while respecting your limits. I'll check my capacity after the meeting and confirm by tomorrow at 10. Travel can disrupt boundaries because you are out of your normal environment. Decide travel rules before you pack. You choose your response times, your work windows, your spending cap each day, and your decompression rituals. Protect sleep and food first. They are the foundation of your tone. I won't be on messages during travel days. I'll send updates when I land each evening. Work emergencies happen, real ones. When they do, you respond without letting the crisis become a precedent. After the emergency, you return the system to normal. Name the exception and close the loop so the team does not expect forever heroics. Work script, follow-up email. Thank you for jumping in last night. This was an exception to protect the release. We return to our normal hours starting today. If we need more coverage, we'll schedule it in advance. You reset expectations in writing. You protect the team's oxygen. Some friendships are deep because you showed up beyond convenience. Keep showing up and set edges that let you keep showing up next month too. When you are asked for emotional labor you cannot do, offer another form of care that fits. I can't process the whole situation tonight. I can drop off soup tomorrow and check in for 15 minutes at noon. Money with friends might require receipts when numbers get fuzzy. Asking for clarity is not petty. It is how the friendship breathes. Speak early while the numbers are small. Friend script, text after dinner. I covered the bill. Your part is $32. Here's my handle. Clear, brief, no apology. Micro practice. Create a note titled Scripts That Save Me. Add 5 lines from today that you like. Read them once before your next hard conversation. Scripts are not cages, they are scaffolding. You will face power imbalances at work where a senior person expects your silence. Silence is not respect when it costs outcomes. Bring facts gently and tie them to the mission. You are not challenging status. You are protecting results. Work script, boardroom. To hit the launch date without defects, the team needs 2 more test cycles. Cutting one increases risk of customer churn. Here is the adjusted timeline. You state the truth and the impact. You let numbers carry the hard part. When you are tempted to take over because others are dropping the ball, pause. Ask yourself if your help would create a better outcome or enable avoidance. If it enables avoidance, design a boundary that protects your time while nudging the system to correct. I won't be stepping in on this task. If you want my consult for 15 minutes, book a slot tomorrow at 1 or 3. Your focus thrives when you contain context switching. Reserve a channel for quick hits and another for deep work. Tell people where to send what. A shared rule reduces accidental intrusion. I handle urgent requests in chat and project work in the tracker. Please put non-urgent items in the tracker so nothing gets lost. Money clarity again, now on pricing your freelance work or asking for a raise. People pleasing underprices you because you fear the no. Let the no do its job. If the market says no to a price that sustains you, that is information you can use to adjust scope, offer tiers, or pursue different clients. Do not build a business on resentment. I charge $800 for this package, which includes 2 revisions. If you need a lighter option, I have a starter at $400. The boundary is built into the offer. You keep your margin and your mood. Micro practice. Write a 1-line value statement for your work I create. Add 3 outcome words. Read it before calls so you speak from value, not from a discount reflex. In family conversations where opinions flare, declare your lane early. You are not obliged to be the buffer or the judge. You can be the person who loves and declines debate. I'm here to enjoy time together. I'm not joining the argument. When someone tries to make your boundary a referendum on your character, resist the courtroom. Keep your answer in the present tense and on the specific behavior. Courts consume energy. Specifics end loops. I'm not comfortable with this request. I'm choosing no. Your body posture can help you carry boundaries when words feel shaky. Uncross your arms, drop your shoulders, plant your feet, speak on the out-breath. Keep sentences short. The ritual steadies you in any room. Micro practice, stand feet hip-width apart. Breathe in, breathe out, say 1 line you avoid. Repeat twice. Physical rehearsal lowers the spike when the real moment arrives. Digital boundaries need clean rules because the platforms are designed to pull you back into pleasing. Decide what gets notifications and what does not. Turn off read receipts if they create pressure. Use auto-replies that set expectations without asking permission. I batch messages at noon and 5. Thanks for understanding. Workplaces often substitute speed for quality. Your boundary protects craft. You are not slow, you are thorough. Name the trade-offs out loud. Work script message. I can rush and deliver a thin version today, or I can send a solid draft tomorrow by 10. Which outcome do you prefer? You give leadership a choice that maps to reality. You avoid the secret late night that breeds resentment. On money in relationships, agree on a language and cadence. Weekly or monthly money check-ins prevent surprise and soothe anxiety. Keep the tone factual and kind. Use the meeting to align spending with shared values and to honor what each of you needs. I'm prioritizing debt payoff this month. Can we keep dining out to $80 and put the rest toward the card? If someone accuses you of changing, acknowledge the truth that you are changing, then hold the line. People who benefited from the old pattern may miss it. You do not owe them your old self. I am changing, I'm choosing healthier limits, and I still care about you. When you must decline late-night work messages that used to be your normal, expect pushback at first. Transition periods feel tense. Stay steady. Reply inside your new window and include a sentence that teaches the rhythm. I saw your note from last night. I answer messages during work hours and will have the update by 11. For friends who cancel repeatedly and expect you to absorb the cost, set a clear boundary and a new rule. You can care and still protect your time and dollars. Friend script text, I love seeing you. I'll book again when we move to paying at the table. If plans shift last minute, let's reschedule before placing orders. Warmth and clarity in one breath. Micro practice. Write 3 tiny rules you will keep for the next month. My morning hour is mine. I confirm scope before saying yes. I do a money check on Fridays. Put them on a sticky note. Rules shrink decision fatigue. In high-conflict spaces, your boundary is to stop explaining and start writing. Verbal loops spiral. Written agreements settle. Move the thread to a channel you can document and slow down. Written pace is kinder to your nervous system. Let's summarize decisions in writing so we're aligned. Your attention budget needs an audit like your money does. If you are spending hours on low-value tasks to avoid the discomfort of high-value work, name it. Trade 1 hour today from low value to high value. Do the hard thing first. That hour teaches you that you can handle what matters without pleasing your anxiety. I'm starting with the pitch deck, then I'll answer email. You are allowed to enjoy the calm that boundaries create. Calm is not a sign you should take on more. Calm is the signal that your life fits. Let calm be your new normal. From calm, you can choose generosity that you can sustain, kindness that includes you, and work you are proud of because you did it at a human pace. I like the quiet this creates, I'm keeping it. As you close today, feel the quiet strength that comes from bookending your day, naming your budget, and carrying ready sentences into rooms that used to shake you. You do not have to become hard to hold a line. You become clear. You do not have to become distant to stop pleasing. You become present. Presence and clarity together invite respect and make space for real care. Yesterday you protected mornings and evenings, named budgets upfront with friends and family, and carried scripts that kept trips, holidays, and caregiving humane. You let calm be your new normal and used written agreements to stop spirals. Today you integrate everything you have practiced into leadership, not as a title, but as a way of moving through rooms. You will learn how to model boundaries so others feel safer to keep their own. You will navigate layered asks, mixed loyalties, and moments where power dynamics try to erase your no. You will practice repair that preserves dignity, negotiations that honor value, and self-assessment that keeps your pace sustainable. You are not aiming to win every interaction. You are designing a life where your clarity travels with you. Leadership begins with ground rules that make work breathable. Breathable means time is respected, outcomes are defined, and people are not punished for being finite. You set the tone with short, steady lines and choices that match them. You remove heroics as a metric. You reward clarity, not chaos. Work script, team kickoff. Here's our working agreement. Focus blocks are protected, changes are written, and we trade scope for time when needed. If something breaks this, flag it fast so we fix it. You lead as a human, your team exhales. When you design meetings, you also design boundaries. You set an outcome, a time box, and a decision owner. If someone tries to widen the river, you put the river back in its banks. I'm parking that topic. Today's outcome is a go or no-go on the proposal. Micro practice. Before your next meeting, write one sentence. The decision we must leave with is. Put it at the top of the agenda or in the chat. End the meeting by reading it again with the result. Influence grows when you use questions that reveal reality. Questions are clean tools because they reduce performance and increase information. When an ask feels slippery, you convert it to specifics with 2 or 3 well-placed questions. What does success look like in one sentence? What will we call done? What do we drop to make room? Silence after the questions is part of your boundary. Let others fill it. You also lead by naming your limits in a way that protects outcomes. Limits sound firm when they are tied to what matters. They sound generous when they include what you can do. I can take the analysis, not the slides. If slides are essential, we'll need another owner. You keep quality high, you keep resentment low. Friend leadership looks like modeling honest pace. You plan gatherings that are joyful and affordable. You resist the drift toward expensive, elaborate, and exhausting. You set the tone by proposing options that protect connection, not spectacle. Friend script, group chat. Let's do a bring your dish dinner with a playlist and board games. Budget friendly, phones down after 8, I'll host 7 to 9. You offer a simple plan with edges. Everyone knows what to expect. Permission spreads. Family leadership means turning love into logistics that don't eat you alive. You specify time, tasks, and tone. You stay kind while you refuse to be conscripted by default. Family script, sibling thread. I can coordinate rides on Saturdays and handle prescription refills. I'm not available for daily check-ins. Let's assign the rest so we share the load. You are not barking orders. You are building a structure that cares. Be kind, be clear, be consistent. Power dynamics can make your boundary feel expensive. You might fear consequences if you say no to a senior person or an influential friend. You reduce the cost by bringing numbers and options, then pausing. Numbers make the conversation about physics, not favor. Options make you a partner, not an obstacle. The pause gives your words weight. Work script to a senior lead. This scope is 12 hours. I have 4 before Friday. Option 1 is a lean version by Friday. Option 2 is the full by Tuesday with Maya's help. Which outcome serves the goal? Then you stop. Let the room think. You are teaching them how to decide with reality. Micro practice. Practice a 4-count pause after you say a boundary line. In a mirror or on a voice note, say a sentence, breathe 4 slow counts, and resist the urge to fill the space. Your nervous system learns that silence is safe. You will sometimes face layered asks that hide 3 requests inside one. Unpack them. Reflect what you hear, separate the pieces, and accept or decline each part. This prevents the all-or-nothing trap that people-pleasing often falls into. I'm hearing a request for time, for strategy, and for execution. I can do strategy in a 30-minute call. I'm not available for execution. For time, I can meet Wednesday at 1. You reduce a tangle to clean lines. Money clarity at leadership level means you treat price and capacity as design constraints, not as afterthoughts. You put money on the table early, you refuse vague approvals, and you build buffers so your no is not tied to a single person's mood. You align dollars with values in shared language, not in shame. Work script, budget review. Our cap is 6,000 this quarter. We can hit quality with fewer features, or we can keep scope and extend the timeline. I recommend reducing features to protect reliability. You link money to outcomes with no drama. Micro practice. Create a 1-line rule for approvals. No work without an owner, a deadline, and a budget. Write it on a sticky note near your desk. Apply it today to one task trying to sneak in without a number. Negotiation becomes calmer when you separate worth from price. Your worth is not up for debate. The price for a specific outcome is. When you hold that distinction, you negotiate with steadier breath. I charge $1,000 for this package. If your budget is $700, we can adjust scope to match. Your tone stays warm, your parameters stay intact. Friend money boundaries can be explicit without being stiff. When you plan shared gifts or trips, you put the number first, then the fun. You avoid resentment by avoiding vagueness. I'm in for a $30 gift and a handwritten note. Clear numbers free your joy. Repair grows your influence because people learn that you own your impact. You do not erase your boundary to repair. You soften your delivery and make amends as needed, then you restate your line. I'm sorry I cut you off. I want this to be collaborative. I'm still not available to take on the extra work. The relationship breathes, your limit lives. Micro practice. After a tense exchange, send a 2-sentence repair within 24 hours if it serves the relationship. Sentence 1 names your impact. Sentence 2 restates your boundary or the next step. Keep it brief. Keep it human. You lead your attention by treating it like a budget with categories. Deep work, admin, connection, recovery. Each day you allocate time to each category, even if small. Recovery is not a leftover. Recovery is a category that funds your other categories. Without it, your yes becomes brittle and your no turns sharp. I'm protecting 30 minutes for recovery after the client call. Your calendar becomes a friend who keeps you honest. In hard family rooms where old patterns flare, lead by naming the present and choosing the gentle path out. You do not litigate history in front of dessert. You create a safe lane. Family script, dinner table. This is getting heated and I want a kind evening. I'm changing the subject to tomorrow's plans. If someone drags you back, you step outside and return when the tone resets. You show people how to keep loving each other with edges. Digital spaces reward speed over depth. Leadership flips that bias. You slow threads, move decisions to the right channel, and frame choices in writing. You decline to be pulled into performative urgency. Work script, channel post, moving this to the project tracker with 3 options and owners. We'll decide at 10 tomorrow. Reactions here can wait until then. Chaos quiets because you gave it a plan. Sometimes you must set a boundary with a boundary breaker. This is different from daily nudges. It calls for a clear consequence you can keep. You are not punishing, you are protecting a standard. I've asked twice for the scope to be respected. If it changes again without alignment, I'll step back and ask leadership to assign a new owner. Then you do exactly that if the line is crossed. When the relationship is personal and tender, your consequence might be time and access. You protect your heart by stepping back, not by waging war. I love you, I'm taking space for a month. I'll reach out to plan a short call when I'm ready. You're not performing a grand exit, you are choosing healing ground. Money with yourself needs as much leadership as money with others. You set personal allowances for joy so you do not rebel against a tight budget with a splurge that hurts. You name a small, steady number that keeps your life flavored and your plan intact. I give myself $20 a week for fun with zero guilt. Small plan joy prevents large unplanned leaks. Micro practice. Open your notes and write 1 line, joy line this month. Add a number and 2 examples that fit the number. When an impulse hits, check the line. If it fits, enjoy. If not, put it on next month's list. When you inherit a mess at work, your people pleaser might want to fix it overnight to prove value. Leadership cleans in layers. You stabilize, you prioritize, you communicate the plan, and you do not hemorrhage your evenings to erase a history you did not create. Work script, status note. Inherited backlog is 20 items. We'll clear the top 5 by Friday based on risk. Here's the list and the order. The rest moves to next week with owners. You create order without martyrdom. With friends, leadership is often about permission and pace. You can be the first to leave on time. You can name the split kindly. You can normalize boundary sentences so your circle gets braver together. I'm heading out at 9 to protect tomorrow. Loved this. A calm exit teaches more than a lecture ever could. You may face backlash as your boundaries solidify. Backlash is not proof you did wrong. It is proof you changed something that served others. You respond with composure and carry on. You do not return to old patterns to calm other people's short-term discomfort. I hear your frustration, my boundary stands. Short, respectful, final. Micro practice. Write 3 versions of a firm close. Stands, remains, is unchanged. Practice with a gentle voice once each. Your body learns that firmness can be quiet. Your focus as a leader also includes saying yes on purpose. You reserve capacity for 1 stretch that excites you, not 10 that drain you. You commit to a few big rocks and let the pebbles find their own place. This is how you grow without grinding yourself down. I'm saying a full yes to the mentorship program. To make room, I'm declining 2 panels this quarter. You trade like an adult with a map. If you work with clients, set renewal boundaries that prevent last-minute panic. You lead the cadence with early check-ins, clear deliverables, and a renewal window that respects both sides. Work script, client email. We're entering the final month. Attaching outcomes delivered, outcomes in flight, and options for next quarter. Please confirm by the 15th so we plan staffing. You turn the end into a clean beginning or a clean close. Family seasons change, so should your boundaries. You revisit agreements when school schedules, health, or jobs shift. You do not wait for a blow-up to update the plan. You initiate the recalibration. Family script call. Schedules changed this fall. Let's revisit responsibilities for Sundays. I can do mornings and cleanup, not full-day hosting. You prevent resentment by refreshing reality. Money clarity again, now for joint decisions. You create a short monthly money meeting with someone you share expenses with. No blame, just numbers, values, and next steps. You close with one sentence each about what matters next month. I want to prioritize savings for the emergency fund and still keep one date night. Let's set amounts for both. Clarity is romance, stability is care. Micro practice, put a 15-minute money check on your calendar for the same time each week. Use a 3-line template: what came in, what went out, what changes next week. Close the app after 15 minutes. Small and steady wins. When advocacy is needed, you speak up for a boundary that protects more than just you. You name the impact on the group and propose a humane standard. You are not complaining. You are building culture. Work script, all hands. To reduce burnout, can we agree that deadlines move with scope and that after-hours work is the exception, not the norm? You plan a stake that helps everyone breathe. You will always have edges where people-pleasing tries to sneak back in. The difference now is speed. You notice sooner, you correct faster, you forgive yourself quickly and return to alignment. This is mastery, not perfection. I slipped into auto, yes, I'm correcting now, then you correct. As you integrate these practices, remember that leadership is simply you living your values out loud in a way that others can rely on. Your sentences are short. Your follow-through is steady. Your money and your time point toward what matters. You make room for joy, for rest, for work that counts, and for relationships that thrive in honest air. You are the same kind person with a clearer spine. You listen without absorbing. You help without erasing. You choose with eyes open. People trust you because your no is clean and your yes is true. The rooms you enter grow calmer. The projects you touch run saner. The people you love learn from your example that kindness with edges is love that lasts. This is what my good life feels like, and I'm keeping the shape. Yesterday, you learned to model boundaries like a leader. You used numbers and options, repaired without erasing your limit, and set humane standards that others could rely on. Today, you practice resilience and renewal under friction. You will prepare for pushback, manage your own second thoughts, and keep your center when a conversation tilts. You will refine closure so loose ends stop nibbling your time and money. You will also rehearse advanced scripts for work, friends, and family so you can move through tense moments with a steady voice and a clear plan. Begin with the aftershock. After a hard no, your mind often replays the scene and tries to bargain with it. Let the replay run for 1 minute, then name the decision you already made and why it aligns with your values. Speak it out loud. The aim is not to convince the world. The aim is to remind your nervous system that you chose on purpose. I said no to protect my focus and show up well for what I already promised. Micro practice, set a 1-minute timer. Whisper a 3-part line: I chose, it matches my values, I release the loop. When the timer ends, switch tasks. If the loop returns, repeat once and move on. You are training your brain to exit rumination. Now prepare for pattern breakers. Some people respond to new boundaries by shifting tactics. Flattery, urgency, guilt, or confusion appear where simple requests used to be. Name the tactic politely and return to the decision. When you name it, you reduce its power without turning the moment into a fight. I'm hearing urgency. My process is the same. I'll decide by noon tomorrow. At work, practice a firm redirect when the goalpost moves midstream. You are not difficult for refusing hidden expansions. You are protecting the outcome and your credibility. Work script, project channel, scope has changed. To keep quality, I'll pause execution until we confirm the revised deliverable, owner, and date in writing. Then you wait for written confirmation. Calm waiting is part of the boundary. When friendship friction arises because you changed a long habit of saying yes, expect a wobble. Your new clarity might feel like distance to someone who equated closeness with convenience. Meet the wobble with warmth and steadiness. Offer connection that fits instead of access without edges. Friend script text, I care about us. I'm answering slower so I don't overpromise. I can do a walk Saturday at 10 if you're free. You name the change and give a specific door. Family conversations sometimes carry old debts that no one can pay. When the past is used to pressure present decisions, decline the ledger and return to today's facts. You are not erasing history. You are refusing to make today's yes the currency of old peace treaties. Family script call, I hear the history. For today, I'm not available to host. I can bring dessert and stay 2 hours. You separate care from compliance and keep the door open to a kind visit. Micro practice, write 2 lines on a card. My care is steady, my access is shaped. Carry it for 1 week. Touch it before you reply to a request that leans on guilt. Let's refine closure. Boundaries fray when loops stay open. Close the loop with a short summary and the next step, even if the next step is a polite stop. Close in writing when possible so your brain can rest and your calendar can plan. I'm closing this thread here. My answer is no this time. Wishing you a smooth path forward. Your focus strengthens when you reduce switching costs. Create tiny gates around your attention so you do not leak hours in the name of being nice. Gates are clear windows when you are reachable and clear rules for when you are not. I'm reachable for quick questions at 2 and 4. For everything else, add it to the tracker and I'll respond by tomorrow. Money clarity today is about frictionless honesty. Build microsystems that make the honest choice easier than the people-pleasing choice. A prepaid envelope for shared expenses, a recurring reminder to split costs, a default note for declining out-of-budget plans. Systems save you from improvising under social pressure. I'm doing a low-spend month to hit a savings target. I'm in for coffee, not dinner. Micro practice, create a note titled Money Boundaries. Add 3 auto phrases. I'm keeping it modest this month. That's above my cap. I'm happy to do this lower cost option. Use 1 in the next week. You are lowering the friction to tell the truth. Sometimes the cleanest boundary is a graceful exit from a role that quietly became a drain. Exit with gratitude, a clear date, and a minimal handover. Do not offer a dozen partial after services that keep you attached by threads. Work email script. I've appreciated owning scheduling. My last week covering it will be the 21st. I'll document the process and share access by Friday. After that, the role needs a new owner. You end well, not endlessly. If someone tries to argue with your boundary by questioning your character, resist the courtroom. Character trials are bottomless. Bring the conversation back to behavior and capacity, then end it if it loops. I'm not discussing my character. I've stated my capacity and it's final. Your body can carry a boundary when your mouth hesitates. Anchor posture before you speak. Feet flat, shoulders down, jaw loose, exhale, then the line. Posture changes tone, tone changes outcomes. Micro practice, 3 breaths, 3 lines. Breath 1, loosen jaw. Breath 2, drop shoulders. Breath 3, speak. I'm not able to take this on. Repeat once later today. Prepare for the apology trap. People pleasers often apologize for existing. Replace reflex apology with precise gratitude or a clean correction. This keeps respect high and shame low. Thank you for your patience. I'm correcting my earlier yes. I can do the report by Friday, not Wednesday. When a friend equates money limits with lack of love, respond with clarity and affection. Love measures in presence and honesty, not in receipts. I care about you. I'm staying within my budget and I still want time together. Let's plan a hike and bring snacks. At work, practice a calm refusal of last-minute scope framed as a values move. Tie your boundary to quality and trust. This shifts the focus from your comfort to the shared standard. Work script face to face. Adding this now risks the quality we promised. If it's essential, let's adjust the timeline. If not, we'll keep scope and deliver strong. You hold the line without heat. Family pressure sometimes arrives as teasing that masks a demand. Treat teasing as a request in costume. Remove the costume, answer the request, and ignore the bait. Family script, hallway chat. If you're asking me to stay the whole day, my answer is no. I'm leaving at 3. I'm glad to be here now. You keep it light and firm. Your attention deserves a closing ritual so it does not keep working while you try to rest. A 3-minute shutdown tells your brain the day is done and tomorrow is planned. Close open loops so your boundaries are not tested by midnight anxiety. Micro practice. End your day with a 2-line plan. Top outcome tomorrow, first step at start time. Put it on your keyboard. Your morning will follow the line instead of the inbox. When pushback escalates into unkindness, set a boundary about tone and consequence you are willing to keep. Do not threaten, do not sermonize. State, act, and stabilize. I want a respectful exchange. If it stays sharp, I'll step away and reconnect tomorrow. If it stays sharp, you step away. Build a small recovery kit for your bag or desk. A mint, a small bottle of water, a calming scent, a note card with 2 sentences you trust. Ritual tools shorten the time from adrenaline to steady. I'm stepping out for 5. I'll return with a clear answer. Money and focus align when you design default yeses. Default yeses are small, pre-approved choices that match your values. A monthly class, a weekly date, a donation you believe in. Default yeses reduce decision fatigue and remind you that boundaries create room for joy, not just limits. I say a default yes to my library card, my morning walk, and my savings transfer. When you're tempted to over-explain, pretend you are leaving a voicemail with a 60-second cap. Say the key sentence. Offer one option. Stop. The cap trains brevity without coldness. I'm not available for that timeline. I can start Monday and deliver by Thursday. In friendships, honor cancellations without absorbing the cost forever. Set a clear reschedule rule that keeps goodwill balanced. Friend script text, no worries on the cancel. Let's reschedule when we can pay at the table. I'll hold off on bookings until then. You keep warmth and protect your dollars. At work, codify your boundaries into team habits so they live beyond you. When a habit is shared, your personal no becomes a group standard. That is how culture shifts. Work script, team page, team norms, written scope before work begins, focus blocks respected, emergency exceptions documented and reset the next day. Post it, live it, refer to it. Micro practice. Write a 1-line boundary mantra for tense rooms, short sentence, warm tone, steady spine. Put it where you can see it before meetings. Prepare for success, too. As your boundaries hold, more opportunities may arrive because people trust your yes. Accept with the same clarity you used to decline. Say a full yes to what fits and guard the rest. I'm a yes to the keynote. To make room, I won't join additional panels this quarter. Your money clarity deepens with a simple audit of value drift. Value drift happens when small expenses no longer match who you are becoming. Audit gently, not as punishment, but as pruning so growth has space. Micro practice, scan 5 recent non-essentials. Mark 1 to prune next month and 1 to keep on purpose. Whisper, I choose on purpose, not by default. When someone claims your boundary is new and therefore unfair, acknowledge the change and stand firm. Fairness includes your needs. New is not wrong. New is updated truth. You're right that I'm doing it differently now. This is the shape that keeps me well. If a conversation keeps circling, use the boundary of written summary to exit the loop. Written summaries slow the spiral and make next steps undeniable. I'm sending a short summary of what we agreed and where we disagree. We can revisit after a week if needed. Then send it. Your focus thrives when you give yourself permission to finish small. Finishing small creates proof. Proof breeds confidence. Confidence makes people-pleasing less tempting because you no longer need performative hustle to feel valuable. I'm closing this micro task now so I can move the big one next. As you close today's practice, feel how resilience is not a shield but a rhythm. You anticipate tactics without paranoia. You correct without drama. You spend and save with your values, not other people's urgency. You speak short, warm sentences that hold steady when the air gets thin. You finish what you start and let the rest wait its turn. You are not withdrawing from life. You are engaging with a spine and a soft front day after day. I carry a calm no and a true yes. Yesterday, you practiced resilience under friction. You prepared for pushback, closed loops in writing, and carried calm sentences that kept your money and attention aligned with your values. Today, you integrate everything into a steady identity. This is not about a perfect script. This is about being the same person on busy Mondays and quiet Sundays, in bright rooms and tense ones. You become someone whose words and choices match even when no one is watching. You do this with tiny rituals, clear numbers, and a voice that stays kind while it holds the line. You keep what works. You release what doesn't. You move forward with a simpler map. Start with identity statements. When your identity is clear, decisions get lighter because you compare requests to who you are, not to who others want you to be. You keep a pocket set of sentences that name your way of living and working. You return to them when pressure rises, when guilt knocks, or when the room tries to draft you into a role you retired. I give honest answers faster than I used to. I decide with numbers and values, not with pressure. I'm allowed to be generous without being available on demand. When your day tilts, you stabilize with process. Process is your quiet ally. You confirm scope before you begin, you put times on decisions, you keep money rules simple. You ask for priorities in writing. You let facts carry what feelings try to twist. This steadiness is not cold. It is caring because it keeps outcomes and relationships out of chaos. Micro practice. Write 3 identity lines in your notes that begin with I am the kind of person who. Fill them with behaviors, not traits. I am the kind of person who answers clearly, closes loops, and keeps promises I can keep. Read them once before your first meeting. At work, you protect your future by designing endings as carefully as beginnings. You end projects with a short, respectful close that names what was learned, what remains, and what you will not carry forward. Endings like these stop scope from leaking into your next month and keep your reputation grounded in clarity. Work script, closeout note. Project complete as of today. Delivered outcomes are attached. Remaining items are out of scope for this phase. If we choose a new phase, I'll propose timeline and budget by Friday. You honor the work and you honor your limit. Your friendships breathe when you build traditions that fit real life rather than fantasy time and fantasy money. Low-cost rituals done on purpose beat expensive plans done with resentment. You become the friend who brings presence and predictability, not the friend who brings a hurried yes and a tired heart. Friend script text. Let's set a standing first Saturday walk at 9. Free, simple, and I'll bring coffee. You gift the friendship a shape that both of you can keep. The shape becomes proof that care is steady. Family roles transform slowly when you show up the new way again and again. You do not explain the whole philosophy each time. You demonstrate it in one sentence and one action. You stay loving. You stay finite. You let time do some teaching for you. Family script call. I'm happy to help plan the menu. I'm not hosting. I'll send a shopping list tonight and bring dessert on Sunday. You define the lane, walk in it, and repeat next month. Now fold in a final layer of money clarity. You set 2 simple horizons, today money and future money. Today money covers essentials and 1 or 2 joys you choose on purpose. Future money covers stability and ease later. When a request arrives, you decide which horizon it belongs to. If it belongs to neither, it waits or it fades. You are not stingy, you are aligned. I'm choosing what I fund. This month I fund stability, a weekly coffee with a friend, and the books that teach me. Micro practice? Open your banking app and label 2 buckets if your bank allows labels, today and future. Move a small amount into each right now. If labels are not available, create a note that says today amount, future amount, and fill it. Numbers calm stories. Your attention is the engine of your life. You protect it with intentional openings and clean closings. The opening is a brief check-in with your identity lines and a single target. The closing is a 2-line plan for tomorrow and one small act of gratitude for a boundary you kept today. This ritual sends your brain to rest, wrapped in evidence that you live your values. I finished what I said I would, and I leave the rest for morning. When pressure spikes, you may still feel the old pull to explain, to sweeten, to stretch. You respond with the smallest honest sentence, then a pause you can survive. Silence is a tool. It lets meaning land. It also protects you from building a staircase of words others can climb to argue you out of your truth. I'm not available for that, and I wish you well. Micro practice? Record a voice memo of you saying one boundary line you avoid. Speak it 3 times with a slower exhale each time. Listen once. The sound of your own steady voice becomes a resource you can remember in the room. Complex work rooms ask for layered clarity. You anticipate the big 3 risks: fuzzy scope, hidden deadlines, and invisible owners. You call them out before you commit. You are not chasing control. You are building a pathway where good work can happen at a human pace. Work script kickoff. Before I confirm, I need written scope, the decision owner, and the approval path. Once those are set, I'll send a delivery date today. You don't rescue, you architect. Some friendships ask for a new contract after you stop performing closeness with constant availability. A new contract is not drama. It's a simple conversation about how you connect now. You state what you can offer. You ask what they need. You see where the Venn diagram overlaps, and you agree to live in that overlap with affection. I love you. I connect best in planned windows, not on call. Walks and voice notes are my sweet spot. Family ties become lighter when you normalize boundary talk as love talk. You do not threaten to create space. You declare it and you stick to it. You keep your visits kind and time-bound. You leave on time even when the room tugs. You teach with your feet as much as with your mouth. I'm heading out now, I've loved being here. Then you go. Your focus thrives when you stop trying to be impressive and choose to be consistent. Impressive is a flash that feeds people-pleasing. Consistent is dull on the surface and beautiful in the results. The consistent person finishes, sleeps, budgets, declines, and shows up with the same steady tone. Your brain learns to expect your follow-through. Others learn it too. Micro practice? Pick a tiny streak to begin today. 1 sentence of budget review on Fridays, 1 sentence of planning at night, 1 minute of breath before hard replies. Track it with a simple check mark. Let the streak become your quiet pride. When someone asks for more than you have, you do not reach for a performance of kindness. You reach for a structure. Structures hold kindness in place. Structures say yes here, no there, next time then. Your life becomes a set of gentle gates instead of a field anyone can sprint across. I can help between 2 and 3, and I'll be off at 3 sharp. You will still meet rooms that reward self-erasure. You are not here to starve for applause. You are here to work with integrity and to live a life that feels like yours. Say less, build more, hold the line, offer options when you truly have them. Tell the truth when you don't. I don't have capacity. If timing changes, I'll revisit. Money again, now for seasons. Some seasons are build seasons, some are rest seasons, and some are repair seasons. Your budget shifts with your season, and you name it out loud so your choices make sense to you and to others. This is a build season. I'm spending less on dining out and more on courses. I'll revisit in 3 months. Your calendar gets the same clarity. Your friends hear the why without needing a defense. Micro practice. Set a calendar reminder titled Season Check for 90 days from now. In the notes, write 3 words: build, rest, repair. When the reminder arrives, choose your word and adjust money and time by 1 notch in its direction. Legacy sounds grand, but your legacy is a pattern, not a plaque. It is the phrases people hear in their heads after you leave the room. You choose those phrases now by living them. People remember that with you, answers are clear, budgets are honest, timelines are real, and no is kind. People remember that you speak directly and stay connected. They remember the relief of not having to guess. I trust myself to be the same person in every room. Closure with yourself keeps resentment from growing roots. At the end of each week, you give 5 minutes to an honest tally: boundaries kept, boundaries missed, money aligned, money drifted. You thank yourself for the keeps, and you clean one miss with a quick note or a calendar change. You go into the weekend free of the quiet debts that drive people pleasing. I'm correcting one thing now so I don't carry it, then you correct it. Your voice now belongs to a person who believes she is allowed to take up space. You say less and mean it more. You ask questions that make meetings shorter. You answer requests with reality. You move money with your values. You design a life that runs on aligned yes and honest no. The urge to please still visits, but it does not drive. Micro practice. Walk slowly to the next room with your shoulders relaxed. As you walk, say one line under your breath that you want in your muscle memory. I answer clearly. I keep my word. I stop when I'm done. Stand in the doorway and smile at the life you are shaping. If someone from your past challenges this new steadiness, breathe and remember the time scale. You are building years, not moments. You do not rush to convert anyone. You live your way into their memory. You keep showing up with the same tone. You let your consistency do the conversation you no longer owe. I understand it feels different. This is how I live now. When you dream forward, you do it with practical kindness. You do not promise future you a perfect year. You promise her a clean Monday, a protected focus block, a weekly money check, and friends who know how to love you in real time. You promise her an unhurried walk and a bedtime that respects her brain. You promise her sentences that fit in one breath. I'm building a gentle life that I can keep. And now you stand at the threshold of the next chapter with a map you made. You know how to pause before you promise. You know how to write clarity into the plan. You know how to let numbers carry the hard part. You know how to be kind without erasing yourself. You know how to correct without shame and repair without surrendering your limit. You know how to spend and save on purpose. You know how to leave on time. You know how to answer in one calm line. Thank you for listening to Queen Audiobooks and for choosing a pace and a voice that you can live inside for years to come. Yesterday, you integrated your practices into a steady identity. You used simple statements, clean endings, and 2 horizons for money so your yes and no stayed aligned even when rooms tugged. Today, you seal the shift. This final session is about carrying your new voice into the next year, designing tiny systems that outlast moods, and blessing the life you are choosing. You will create a compact playbook, rehearse closing moments with grace, and build money and focus rhythms that run on their own. You are making boundary keeping feel natural, not dramatic. You speak in calm lines, you follow through, and you leave space for joy. Start with a 1-page playbook. Your playbook is not a manifesto. It is 5 short sections you can read in 2 minutes. Values, time, money, scripts, and recovery. You write it once, you revisit monthly, and you let it guide your choices without noise. When pressure rises, the playbook answers before anxiety does. Micro practice? Open a blank note and type 5 headers on separate lines. What matters, how I spend time, how I spend money, scripts I trust, how I reset. Under each, add 1 sentence today. Keep it simple. You have just built version 1. You will meet moments where a clear ending is love. Endings protect beginnings. When a project, promise, or pattern has done its work, you honor it and you stop. You do not ghost. You do not perform a long goodbye to earn permission. You close with respect and you redirect your energy to what lives. Work script, close out. Thanks for the collaboration. With the deliverables complete, I'm closing this thread. If a new phase is approved, I'll confirm scope, timeline, and budget in writing. You end well and keep your calendar honest. Friend script, gentle close. I care about you. The pace of our plans hasn't been working for me. I'm stepping back this season. I'll reach out in a few months to see what fits. You offer dignity without debate. Family script, seasonal shift. This year I'm skipping the overnight. I'll join Saturday from 2 to 6 and bring dessert. Love you and see you then. You keep love present and your boundary intact. Your attention now needs a forward plan that protects deep work and bright play. You design a weekly template you can keep even when life bumps you. The template has 3 anchors: focus blocks, connection blocks, and recovery blocks. You book them first, then fit the rest around them. Consistency beats improvisation. I protect 2 focus blocks a day, 1 hour each, phone away. Micro practice. Right now, place 2 recurring 1-hour focus blocks on your calendar for the next 4 weeks. Add 1 15-minute recovery block after each. Title them with a verb and a single outcome. This small structure preserves your best energy for what matters. Money clarity becomes lighter when you pre-decide what you will joyfully fund and what you will calmly delay. You name 3 joyful yeses and 3 automatic nos for this quarter. Joyful yeses nourish you. Automatic nos remove negotiation from impulse. I'm a joyful yes to books, coffee with a friend, and a monthly class. I'm an automatic no to rush shipping, random decor, and subscriptions I don't use. Micro practice. Create 2 lines in your notes titled Yes this quarter and No this quarter. Fill each with 3 items and a rough dollar guardrail. You have reduced dozens of micro decisions to a simple glance. You may still feel tugs to revert in rooms that reward overfunctioning. Anticipate them and keep 1 sentence ready that returns you to center. This sentence is short, warm, and non-negotiable. You do not defend, you declare. I'm keeping my scope as agreed. I'm staying within my budget. I'm heading out on time today. When you carry authority, your boundaries teach louder than any speech. Model sustainable pace, written clarity, and humane trade-offs. When someone thanks you for protecting reality, receive it without turning protection into performance. Work script, modeling trade-off. To keep quality, we'll move feature B to next sprint, documenting the change now. You normalize decisions that respect limits and deliver results. Your friendships flourish when you replace default yes with clear offerings. The offering might be presence without organizing, a walk instead of a night out, a voice note instead of a 2-hour call. Offerings keep the relationship alive without burning you out. I can't host, and I'd love a Saturday walk at 9. I'm not free tonight. I can do a 20-minute call tomorrow at noon. Family dynamics soften when your lines are steady and affectionate. You become predictable in the best way. People learn that your yes is clean, your no is kind, and your visits end on time because your word includes you. Over time, predictability earns respect even from those who miss the old pattern. I'm leaving now. I loved seeing you. Micro practice. Write a 2-sentence exit you can say without rush. I'm heading out now to protect my evening. Thank you for today. Stand up when you speak it. Your body will remember the ease of a clear exit. Let's tighten your repair muscle one last time. Repair keeps dignity alive when you misstep. It is not groveling and not a legal defense. It is clear, brief, and consistent with your boundary. I'm sorry I delayed my reply. My answer is no this time, and I'll communicate earlier next round. I'm sorry my tone was sharp. My limit is the same, and I'm available to discuss options that fit. You maintain momentum with finish lines you can actually cross. Big goals are a stack of small closures. When overwhelm rises, shrink the task until your body says yes. Then finish and close the loop in writing so your brain releases it. I'm sending the summary now, done and dusted. Micro practice, pick one open loop you can finish in 5 minutes. Do it now. Send the confirming message. Mark it complete. Feel the drop in noise. This is the texture of a life you can keep. Your identity holds when you practice a daily covenant. A covenant is not a punishment list. It is a short promise you can keep on a hard day, one act of focus, one boundary sentence, one money check, one small kindness to yourself. You sign the day with these 4 strokes and let the rest be extra. I finished 1 focused hour. I said 1 clean no. I checked 1 money number. I did 1 gentle thing for my body. Micro practice, write these 4 lines on an index card and check them off tonight. Repeat tomorrow. The streak becomes your backbone. Now we future-proof your yes. A true yes is aligned, measured, and resourced. Before you say it, you ask 3 questions. Does it serve what matters? Do I have time and money for it? And can I write the agreement in 1 sentence? If any answer is no, you adjust the scope or you decline. You do not mortgage your peace to buy approval that evaporates. I want to say a true yes. Here's the version I can honor. At work, promote clarity into culture by institutionalizing it. Shared templates, decision logs, and budget check-ins turn your personal boundary into team habit. Teams with habits breathe. Breathing teams retain people and deliver better. Work script habit setting. From today, every new task needs an owner, deadline, scope note, and budget line. I'll provide the template. You remove mystery without removing kindness. Your money will continue to reflect your season. Keep the 2-horizon view alive with a 15-minute weekly check and a 5-minute monthly reset. The weekly check answers what came in, what went out, and what changes next week. The monthly reset updates your joyful yesies and automatic no's and moves a little to your future bucket. Consistency turns anxiety into data and data into calm. I move money with intention, not apology. Micro practice. Schedule a repeating 15-minute money check on the same day and time each week. Use a 3-line template in your note app, in, out, next. Do not exceed 15 minutes. Ending on time is part of the boundary. As you look ahead, understand that kindness and limits are not opposites. Kindness without limits isn't kindness. It is self-erasure wrapped in smiles. Limits without kindness are brittle and lonely. You are choosing the strong middle, a warm voice, a clear plan, a human pace. This is how you sustain care for years. I speak with respect and I keep my line. You are allowed to enjoy your steadiness. Enjoy leaving on time. Enjoy opening your bank app without dread. Enjoy the occupied calendar slot that protects your morning walk. Enjoy being trusted because your yes is true and your no is final. Enjoy the quiet that grows when you stop negotiating with every ping. I like this quiet, I choose it again. When you face a new stretch, bring your curiosity, not your people-pleasing. Curiosity asks, what matters here? What do I offer? What will it cost? What will I protect? You decide from those answers, not from the old reflex to be easy. Easy is not the goal. Integrity is. I choose the version I can deliver well. Micro practice. Before your next big decision, write 4 lines. Matter, offer, cost, protect. Fill each with 1 sentence. Decide from the page, not the pressure. You do not have to convince anyone who prefers the old you. You live the new pattern without commentary. Over time, your clarity becomes the weather they expect when you walk in. People who can meet you here will. People who cannot will adjust their distance. Both outcomes are honest. Honesty frees everyone. My pace is steady, you can count on that. For the last scripts, carry these 6 as talismans you can say in a single breath. I won't be able to take that on. I can help for 30 minutes. After that, I'm off. I'll review and reply by tomorrow at 10. That's above my budget. Here's an option that fits. I'm not discussing this topic. Let's talk about plans. I'm leaving now. Thank you for today. Your life will keep changing and your boundaries will change with it. You will revisit the playbook, you will update your yes and no lists, and you will refine the scripts that fit your voice. You will keep loving people and including yourself. You will keep working with quality at a pace you can live with. You will keep shaping money as a message of your values. You will keep finishing small and often. This is mastery through repetition. I live gently and I hold firm. Thank you for walking this path with courage and steadiness. Thank you for choosing a voice you can live inside. Thank you for building a life that fits your hands. You are ready to carry it forward one calm sentence at a time. You are ready to be the person whose kindness includes herself, whose no is a gift, and whose yes is solid. You are ready to lead by example in rooms that need your clarity and your care. You are ready to keep this shape you've made. Thank you for listening to Queen Audiobooks. Yesterday, you built a one-page playbook, set weekly anchors for focus and recovery, and pre-decided joyful yeses and automatic nos so your time and money moved with intention. You practiced clean endings that protect new beginnings and carried short, warm lines that hold steady. Today you seal the work into a year you can actually live. You knit your skills into routines, agreements, and tiny rituals that keep their shape when moods shift. You choose clarity over drama, pace over performance, and generosity that you can sustain. You walk forward as a woman whose kindness includes herself and whose yes and no are trustworthy. Begin with your yearly arc. A year is a rhythm of 4 simple seasons you name in plain language: build, harvest, repair, and rest. You do not need the whole world to agree with your season. You need to design your calendar, your money, and your energy to match it. When you choose the season, you stop judging yourself for not doing everything at once. You do the right work at the right time. Micro practice? Open your calendar and title the next 3 months with one word each that names your season. Under each word, add one sentence to define the focus. Keep it tangible. One project, one habit, one money goal. Close the calendar. The year now has rails. You will still meet requests that come wrapped in urgency. You answer with process and tone. Process is the frame, tone is the feeling. Together they calm the room without surrendering the line. You give a when, a how, or a simple no. You let space hold the rest. I'll review and reply by tomorrow at 10. Urgency loses power when you translate it into numbers. Numbers are the language of reality. Convert vague asks into hours, dollars, and dates. If the math does not fit, the answer is not more effort. The answer is a change in scope, timeline, or owner. You are not resisting. You are piloting. Work script, decision table. This is 8 hours of analysis. I have 3 today. Option 1, lean version by 5. Option 2, full version by Thursday with a second set of hands. What serves the goal? You bring options that keep quality intact. You step out of the hero trap and into leadership. When a friend reaches out in a rough week, you love them without abandoning yourself. You offer what you can hold. You protect your voice from becoming a faucet that never closes. Love can be present and precise. I can listen for 20 minutes at lunch. I won't be available tonight. Family patterns often test your new steadiness. You respond with the same clear, warm lines and actions you have practiced. You do not litigate old years. You live this year. You make offers you can keep and exit kindly when the tone tilts. Family script doorway. I'm happy to help set up. I'm leaving at 6. If the conversation turns sharp, I'll step outside and come back when it resets. Your actions teach more than arguments do. Micro practice. Draft a tiny family visit plan in 2 lines, arrival time and leave time. Say it out loud once. Put it on your lock screen before you go. You now have a compass when feelings pull east and west. Your money becomes quieter as you automate the parts that never need drama. Automatic transfers for rent or mortgage. Automatic move to savings on payday. Automatic giving that matches your values. Automation is not cold. It is care for your future. It reduces the number of conversations you need to have with yourself and with others when pressure spikes. I move money on schedule, not on impulse. Money clarity also needs a review ritual that is short and faithful. 15 minutes weekly, 30 minutes monthly, 90 minutes quarterly. You keep the cadence small and real. You track what matters most to you. You celebrate alignment and you prune drift without shame. You build proof that you can steer over time. Micro practice. Write 3 yes numbers for next month in a note. Minimum savings, fun money, and give amount. Put them at the top of your budget. When a new ask arrives, compare it to the 3 numbers before you answer. Your numbers now speak with you. You are allowed to choose a slower pace that keeps promises possible. Fast is not always better. Fast often hides confusion. Slow enough to be clear is respect for everyone involved. You can be quick where quick helps and steady where steady matters. You name the difference in your calendar and in your mouth. I'm taking the time to do this right. Focus is how your future is built. You protect it with 2 small edges many people ignore. A clean start and a clean stop. The start is 1 quiet hour where you move the work that counts. The stop is a shutdown ritual that includes a 2-line plan and 1 act of tidy. These edges make your brain feel safe. Safe brains think better and need less pleasing to soothe anxiety. Micro practice. At day's end, write tomorrow's single most important outcome and its first step. Put the note on your keyboard, close the laptop, walk away. You just made morning lighter. Your voice is not a courtroom, it is a clear bell. You do not argue your worth or apologize for your limits. You state what you can do, what you will not do, and what happens next. Bells do not shout. Bells ring. Let your sentences ring. I'm not able to take that on. Here's what I can offer instead. I'll circle back by Friday with a final answer. At work, you plant cultural anchors so your boundaries are not a personal hobby but a shared standard. Anchors look like templates and norms. Written scope before work begins. Deadlines that move when features stack. Office hours for quick questions. Decision logs that live in one place. Anchors let new people learn in a day what took you a year. Work script, kickoff note, project record created, scope, owner, budget, and timeline posted. Changes will be captured there. Focus blocks are protected 2 to 4 daily. Ping outside those hours for emergencies only. You put bones in the body, the work can walk. Friendships become richer when you design recurring connection that is affordable and repeatable. Monthly potluck, Saturday walk, library date, shared playlist and tea. These rituals reduce pressure and increase presence. You are no longer scrambling for costly proof of care. You are living care on schedule. I'm free for our first Saturday walk at 9. Family generosity is strongest when it is honest. Decide the ceilings you can carry without harming your stability. Say the number simply. Offer what you can do instead of performing debt. Love can be practical. I can contribute 100 this time, that's my max. When someone tries to make your boundary personal, you steadily bring it back to the behavior and the agreement. You do not step into the swamp of character judgments. You stand on the path of specifics and next steps. I'm not discussing my character. I'm confirming the plan we agreed and what fits my capacity. Your body is a tool you can trust. Before you answer a hard ask, you anchor with breath and posture, feet planted, shoulders down, jaw relaxed. You let one exhale finish before you speak. You let the next inhale remind you that oxygen is allowed while you hold the line. This is not a performance, it is maintenance. Micro practice, 3 breaths to carry into any room. First breath, soften your jaw. Second breath, drop your shoulders. Third breath, speak 1 sentence that fits. Repeat this once a day until it is automatic. You deserve a home life that is not swallowed by after-hours tasks. Create a closing line for your workday that signals the shift. You teach those around you by using it consistently. Over time, the line becomes the bell that returns your life to you. I'm off for the day, I'll pick this up tomorrow. You will also design exits for social events to protect your energy and your budget. Exits are agreements you make with yourself before you enter a room. You say them once, then you honor them. This trust with yourself is the heart of calm confidence. I'm staying until 9. I'll say goodnight with a hug and head out. Money and relationships mix better when you agree on language. For shared expenses, use clear terms and simple tools. Even split, itemized split, or alternating treat. Decide once per context. Use the same approach every time so affection is not distorted by fuzzy numbers. Friend script before the check. Even split works for me if it works for you. If not, we can ask for separate checks. You take the fog out and keep the warmth in. Your attention needs boundaries with technology that you hold without ceremony. You turn off non-essential notifications. You batch replies. You remove work apps from your home screen in the evening. You let your phone support your life instead of running it. I answer messages twice a day. For urgent needs, call. At work, learn to close loops publicly so invisible labor does not pile on you. A two-line summary in the project channel stops confusion from revisiting. It also anchors your reputation to reliability, not responsiveness alone. Work script wrap-up, delivered the draft and noted the open questions in the doc, awaiting data from the analytics team to proceed. You step out of the fog, you let the record hold the facts. You will still feel waves of guilt for leaving on time, saying no, or spending in alignment with your values while others prefer you more bendable. You will let the wave pass and stay kind. Guilt is not a verdict. It is whether moves, you keep choosing your line. I care about you and I'm not changing my answer. Your playbook grows with you. Update it when your season shifts or when you learn a better sentence. Let it remain short, keep it in reach. This is the map you found by walking. It guides you without noise. Micro practice, once a month, read your playbook out loud. Remove one sentence that no longer fits. Add one that does. Small edits keep the map alive. Learning does not end. You will refine these skills with each conversation. You will collect proof that short sentences and steady tone build trust. You will see dollars follow values and anxiety fall when loops close. You will feel your body settle as you keep leaving on time. You will notice people respect the yes you give because it is solid. I am reliable because I do what I say I'll do. When conflict appears, you no longer choose between silence and explosion. You choose calm clarity. You name the behavior, set the boundary, and offer a next step if one exists. You release the rest. This is not meek. This is mastery. I want a respectful conversation. If it stays sharp, I'll pause and return tomorrow. Your career becomes saner when you honor constraints early. Budget, scope, timeline. You do not accept magical thinking as a plan. You put physics on the table and proceed from there. Your reward is fewer late nights and a reputation for work that lands. Work script, planning call. Given the budget, the simplest path that protects quality is to ship A and B this quarter. C moves to next. I'll send the revised plan by end of day. You free the team from wishful thinking. You make room for real wins. Your friendships continue to thrive because you showed them how to love you in ways you can keep. You accept care as well as offer it. You let relationships be mutual. Mutuality is fertile ground. I appreciate you checking in. I'm good for a short call at noon. Family ties stop tearing when you keep your edges soft and your line clear. You choose affection without compliance. You offer alternatives when possible. You step away when necessary. You trust that love survives boundaries better than it survives resentment. I'm not discussing that topic. I'm happy to hear about your week. Focus and money link in a simple rule you can carry for years. Do the important thing first. Fund the important thing first. The rest fits around it or it waits. This rule is not glamorous. It is freedom. I start with what matters and let the noise wait. Micro practice. Tomorrow morning, spend the first quiet hour on your single most important task and move a small amount to your future bucket. 1 hour, 1 transfer, proof compounds. You do not need perfection to live this way. You need repetition. Repetition is the drum beat. Miss a beat, return to tempo. Forget a script, use a simpler one. Overspend once, correct next time. You keep the rhythm by rejoining it quickly. That is resilience. I slipped, I'm back. As you finish this journey, feel what has changed. Your schedule reflects your real life. Your money mirrors your values. Your relationships breathe in honest air. Your work has edges that protect craft. Your tone is warm and steady. Your no lands like a clean door closing. Your yes opens rooms you actually want to enter. The tug to please still visits, but you meet it with a pause, a sentence, and a choice that honors you and others. You made this shape, you can keep it. When you doubt, return to one breath, one line, one step that fits. Let small proofs stack into trust. Let trust become your new default. Walk into the next year with a voice you recognize and a life that holds you. Thank you for walking this path. Thank you for choosing a kinder steel. Thank you for listening to Queen Audiobooks as you built a steady voice and a life that fits your hands. Yesterday you named your season, automated what never needs drama, and protected clean starts and clean stops so your time and money moved with intention. You practiced short, warm lines that ring like a bell and built rituals that made clarity your default. Today you finish and bless the shape you've made. You turn practices into promises, promises into patterns, and patterns into a life that is gentle and firm at once. You craft closing words that keep dignity, offers that fit your real capacity, and money choices that express your values without apology. This is your last session, and it is designed to walk with you long after the audio ends. Identity carries you when willpower is tired. Identity says, I am someone who answers clearly, spends on purpose, and leaves on time. From that identity, your yes is simple and your no is steady. You do not have to perform goodness. You live it in one clean sentence at a time. I keep my word by keeping it small enough to keep. Micro practice. Write one line you want to live by this year, make it behavioral and measurable. Example, I start my day with 1 focused hour before messages. Put it on a card near your toothbrush. Read it every morning for a week. Completion is the quiet engine of confidence. People-pleasing scatters you because you start 10 things to please 10 people. Completion asks you to finish one thing for the person who needs you most. You. When you finish, you free capacity and reduce the urge to buy approval with new promises. I'm finishing what I started before I start something new. Work asks will keep arriving. Some are worthy of a full yes, many are better as a shaped yes or a kind no. You choose the shape that aligns with outcomes and bandwidth. You do not debate your character when you set a limit. You discuss the work. Work script chat. I can deliver a 2-page brief by Thursday. If a deep dive is needed, I'll need next Tuesday or a second owner. You tie scope to time without heat. You turn pressure into a plan. Micro practice. In your notes, create a 3-line reply template, recognition, boundary, option. Example, thanks for looping me in. I'm not available for the full build. I can review the draft for 15 minutes by Friday. Use it once this week. Friendships flourish in clarity and repeatable joy. You replace grand gestures you can't sustain with small rituals you can. You show up the way you promise, and the relationship relaxes because it knows what to expect. I can't add a night out, and I'd love a Sunday walk at 9. Family love grows stronger when duties are named, not implied. You decide in calm whether what you can give, then you give it with a good spirit. You don't pay for harmony with resentment. You build harmony with logistics that fit real humans. Family script text: I can cover rides on Saturdays and bring groceries up to $80 a week. I'm not available for daily check-ins. If that works, I'm in. Specifics turn fights into schedules. Your attention boundary is now an ecosystem, not a single fence. You have a morning gate, a meeting gate, and an evening gate. Inside the gates, you do what matters. Outside the gates, you rest. You guard the gates with two things: visible signals and consistent actions. I'm in a focus block until 11. I'll reply after. Micro practice: add an auto reply for your focus windows. In deep work until 11, urgent, call. Use it 3 times this week. Each time you teach others and your own nervous system what availability means now. Money clarity: one more turn. Dollars are messengers. They tell the truth about what you value and what you fear. You invite them to speak for your values, not for your fear. You pre-decide your joyful yesies and your automatic no's each quarter, and you let automation carry the boring parts so your discipline can go do better things. I'm keeping this month simple: needs first, 1 weekly joy, and 1 tiny move to future me. Micro practice: open your banking app. Move a small amount, 5, 10, or 20, into a bucket labeled future. Then create a second bucket labeled joy and move a small amount there too. 2 labeled moves, 2 horizons, 1 calmer nervous system. When guilt knocks, you answer with respect for the feeling and loyalty to your plan. You don't argue with weather, you name it and keep your coat. I feel guilty and I'm still not changing my answer. At work, you formalize trade-offs so your boundary is not personal, it's professional. Trade-offs prevent magical thinking and reward reality. Reality is where trust grows. Work script meeting: to ship by Friday, we drop feature C to keep C, we ship Tuesday. Which path do we choose? When the room decides, you document it. Documentation is the fence that keeps scope from wandering back in the night. Your calendar is a contract with your future. You protect it with the same courtesy you give others. You don't steal from tomorrow to soothe today. You let some discomfort stand because you trust the shape you already drew. I'll decide at noon tomorrow. If the timing doesn't work, feel free to move ahead without me. Micro practice: set a 12 noon decision block for tomorrow. Put 3 items you've been avoiding inside it. At noon, decide each in 1 sentence: yes, now, no, or date. Close the block on time. Your brain learns you can end loops. Saying no is part of care. So is letting others feel what they feel when you say it. You can be present with disappointment without buying it out with your time or money. Presence belongs to you, compliance does not. I'm here with you, and my answer is no. You may still meet rooms where speed and spectacle are rewarded over substance. You will not volunteer your health for applause. You will build a body of work that is coherent, on time, and kind to the human who makes it. You will make your voice even and your sentences short. You will leave when you said you would. That is how you become trusted. I'm closing for the day. I'll pick this up at 9. Sometimes your boundary will require a consequence. Consequences are not punishments, they are the shape of your self-respect. You name them gently and follow through exactly as promised. If the tone stays sharp, I'll end the call and reschedule tomorrow. If it stays sharp, you end the call, calmly, no speech. Micro practice: write 1 tone boundary with a consequence you can keep at work, 1 for friends, 1 for family. Practice them once aloud. Keep them short enough to say in 1 breath. Let's refine endings. Endings make space. Endings are how you keep your life from becoming a museum of old obligations. When a role has run its course, you exit with clarity and a clean date. You don't keep the role on life support to avoid a 5-minute discomfort that would free a year. Work script exit. My last day owning vendor onboarding is the 28th. I'll document and hand over by Friday. Friend script reset. I care about you. The pace of plans hasn't worked for me. I'm stepping back this season. I'll check in next month. Family script boundary. I'm not discussing that topic. If it stays on the table, I'll head out and see you next weekend. Your playbook will evolve. Keep it on one page. Update it monthly like you would water a plant. Not too much, not too little, just enough to keep it alive. Add the lines that actually work in your mouth. Delete lines that sound wise and die on contact with real life. I use short sentences that I can say kindly even when my heart is pounding. Money and focus love finish lines. Close the budget with one small reconciliation each week. Close the day with a two-line plan and a tidy desk. Close the week by thanking yourself for one boundary you kept. Closure is a kindness that reduces the need to please your anxiety with busy work. Micro practice. Before bed tonight, write, "Today I honored myself by." Fill it with one boundary you kept. Sleep with that evidence close. When your change is challenged by people who prefer your former self, you don't evangelize, you live. You let time witness that you are kinder and clearer this way. You don't buy short-term peace with long-term resentment. You let the new pattern speak. I understand this feels different. This is how I'm living now. You also keep a small list of default yeses that enrich you and require no debate. A weekly library visit. A morning walk. Coffee with one friend who respects your pace. A tiny donation that matches your values. These default yeses remind your nervous system that boundaries are not bars, they are trellises that help good things grow. I say yes to what nourishes me and no to what erodes me. Work, friends, family, the trio you navigate most days will keep asking. Your replies stay human and honest. Work script email. Thanks for the request. Given current commitments, I'm unavailable to join this initiative. If priorities shift, I'll revisit. Friend script text. I'm keeping evenings quiet this week. Walk Saturday at 9 works for me. Family script call. I can visit 2 to 4 on Sunday. I'm not available to stay for dinner this time. Your body holds the key to steadiness. Boundaries that live only in your head break when adrenaline rises. Bring your body on board. Drop your shoulders, soften your jaw, and plant your feet before you speak. Say the sentence on the out-breath. Let the pause do part of the work. Micro practice. 3 times today, pause for one breath before you answer any request. On the exhale, let your shoulders drop. Then say one line that fits. Your last money refinement is a kindness clause. The kindness clause says you can choose generosity without abandoning your plan. You decide a small, flexible amount each month for spontaneous giving or shared fun. You give it gladly and stop when the bucket is empty. Joy stays pure when it has edges. I have $20 left in my kindness bucket this month. I'm happy to use it here. When you need to correct a too fast yes, you correct quickly and cleanly. People trust you more when you fix than when you ghost. You are not confessing, you are steering. I said yes too quickly. Here is what I can do by Friday, and here is what needs a new owner. Then you do exactly what you said. Legacy is daily, not someday. Your legacy is the feeling people have when they work with you and love you. Clear, warm, reliable. They remember that your no was kind and your yes was solid. They remember that you measured with numbers and cared with presence. They remember that you left on time and arrived with your whole self. I'm proud of how I show up. You stand now with a simple kit, one breath, one line, one plan, one number. That is enough. Big changes ride on small hinges. You have installed the hinges. Doors will open and close smoothly because you will open and close them on purpose. You will not live by reaction. You will live by design. I carry a calm no and a true yes. As you close, bless the shape you have made. A year from now, you will be steadier because you practiced, not because you performed. You will have fewer apologies and more gratitude. You will have money and attention that serve what matters. You will have friendships that breathe, family ties with better tone, and work that respects human limits and produces real results. You will be the same kind person with a clearer spine. Thank you for listening to Queen Audiobooks, for choosing a voice that you can live inside, and for building a life whose kindness includes you. Yesterday you finished and blessed the shape you made. You turn practices into promises, and you set money and focus rhythms that run on their own. Today you step into your next year with a steady center. You anchor your voice in actions you can repeat, and you let your yes and no guide you without fanfare. You are not proving your worth, you are living it. You carry simple lines, humane systems, and a budget that speaks your values. You move at a pace you can keep. Begin with the way you enter rooms. You arrive already aligned, one breath, one sentence, one outcome. You do not wait for pressure to define your plan. You define it kindly and clearly before the room pulls you sideways. You stay human, not heroic. You let your rituals carry you when mood wobbles. Micro practice. Before your next meeting or call, stand up, drop your shoulders, breathe once, and name one aim in 7 words or fewer. Say it aloud. Let your body register the aim before you speak to anyone else. Leadership of your own time is felt in your openings and your closures. You start your day with 1 quiet hour for the work that matters, then you close the day with 2 lines and a tidy surface. This is how anxiety learns it does not drive. When you protect these edges, requests feel less like storms and more like whether you are prepared to meet. I'm starting with the most important task and answering messages after. When others want to move you with urgency, you answer with process. Process gives bravery a shape. You give a when, a how, or a gentle no. You let silence carry weight so you do not over-explain yourself into a corner you do not want. I'll review and reply by 10 tomorrow. At work, your clarity keeps outcomes honest. You tie scope to hours and dates. You invite decisions instead of absorbing them. You turn heroics into plans. You document agreements in plain language so reality can be shared and repeated. Work script, channel post. To deliver the dashboard with quality, I need 8 focused hours and clean data by noon tomorrow. If data slips, the new delivery is Thursday. Confirm which path we're choosing. You make the trade-off visible. You invite ownership. When the room pushes for more than the math allows, you bring the numbers back like a compass. You are not difficult. You are stewarding outcomes and people. You refuse to mortgage your evening to cover for unclear planning. This refusal is not defiance. It is care. I have 4 available hours before Friday. That covers the report, not the presentation. If the presentation is essential, who can trade tasks or move the date? Your friendships thrive inside honest edges. You offer what you can hold. You bring presence you can sustain. You do not buy closeness with your budget or your bandwidth. You invest in rituals that keep affection alive without draining you. Friend script text, I'm keeping nights quiet this week. I can do a Saturday walk at 9 or a 20-minute call at lunch. Your pick. Your friend receives options that protect connection and your energy. Family history can still tug at your limits. You anchor in the present with specific offers and time bounds. You refuse to argue about your goodness. You name what you can do and you keep it. Over time, consistency teaches stronger than any speech. Family script call, I can help with errands from 2 to 4. I'm not available for overnights. If that works, I'll see you then. You avoid the courtroom. You stay kind and finite. This year, money becomes a quiet ally instead of a loud worry. You keep 2 horizons visible, today and future. You feed both with small, regular amounts. You set joyful yeses and automatic nos for the quarter so you are not negotiating with every invite. You let your dollars echo your values in ordinary ways. I'm a yes to my weekly coffee with a friend and a class that grows me. I'm a no to rush shipping and purchases I'll forget by next week. Micro practice. Right now, move a small amount to a bucket labeled future and a small amount to a bucket labeled joy. If your bank does not allow labels, write the amounts in a note and treat it as a promise. Numbers calm stories. People pleasing sneaks back as over-explaining. You resist the urge to build a staircase of words. You use one sentence and a pause. The pause carries dignity. It reminds you that you do not owe an essay to protect a true no. I won't be able to take that on. You will still face moments where credibility feels tied to speed. You will choose steadiness where it matters. You will be fast when fast is harmless and slow when slow is care. You will say what trade-offs are real and you will let others choose. This protects outcomes and the people who deliver them. Work script face-to-face. We can ship today with a thin version or tomorrow with full test coverage. Which is the better risk? You let the choice sit. Your silence is collaboration, not defiance. You build your next year on a few keystone habits that run even when stress rises. A protected morning hour, a weekly money check, and a short list that closes the day. You add one act of renewal that does not perform rest but gives it. Renewal makes boundaries possible because a tired body sells itself quickly. A supported body can hold a line. I'm stepping outside for 10 minutes and returning with a clear head. Micro practice. Put one 10-minute renewal block after your longest meeting each week for the next month. Name it in your calendar. When it arrives, stand, drink water, move, and decide one next action before you touch messages. When you misstep, you repair swiftly and without drama. Repair does not erase the boundary. Repair softens tone and clarifies next steps. People trust those who correct cleanly more than those who pretend not to wobble. I'm sorry for the delay. My answer is no this round. If priorities shift next month, I'll revisit. At home and at work, you normalize scope conversations. You make scope the table everyone expects to sit at, not a back room for conflict. Scope is how you respect humans and ship good work. Write it down, adjust it visibly. Let documentation carry the burden that your memory used to carry alone. Work script, close of meeting. Summarizing, I own the draft by Thursday, you own the data, and we review Friday at 10. Changes go in the doc, not in chat, so we stay aligned. You remove fog with a sentence. Care for friends continues with edges that let you keep showing up. When money is involved, you put the number first and the plan second. You avoid resentment by avoiding vagueness. You keep affection out of the math by making the math clear. I covered the bill, your part is 32, thanks. Family kindness grows when you let love be practical. You choose ceilings you can carry without debt to your future. You communicate them plainly. You offer alternatives where you can. You step back where you must. You stay warm. I can contribute 100 this time, that's my limit. I can also help with pickup on Saturday. You also lead your attention the way you lead a team, with categories and cadence. Deep work has blocks, admin has blocks, connection has blocks, recovery has blocks. You allocate each day. You do not expect your brain to switch lanes every 4 minutes. You treat focus as a resource too precious to be left to chance. I'm in deep work 9 to 10, I'll reply after. Micro practice, do a 60-second tab audit. Close 3 tabs that are not serving your current outcome. Breathe once. Continue with 1 tab open. Feel the relief of attention returning home. Your voice stays warm while it holds boundaries about tone. When conversation spikes, you place a gentle fence, time, topic, or tone. You do not parent other adults. You design a container that you can remain inside. I want a respectful exchange. If it stays sharp, I'll pause and reconnect tomorrow. Your calendar becomes an ally when you keep exits sacred. You decide your stop time before you enter a room. At stop time, you leave with a kind line and no hover. This trains your nervous system to trust you and trains others to count on your word. I'm heading out now to protect my evening. Thank you for today. Work and money meet in the language of value. If you freelance or negotiate salary, you separate worth from price. Worth is your steady sense of yourself. Price is the cost for a specific outcome. You state the price calmly. You offer scope options. You let the no do its job without taking it as a verdict. I charge $800 for this package with 2 revisions. If you need a lighter option, I have a starter at $400. Sometimes the kindest move is a clean exit from a role or pattern. You do not hold the door and apologize forever. You set a date. You document a few essentials. You step out with gratitude. You do not offer a dozen partial after services that keep you tethered by threads you cannot keep. Work script email. My last week covering onboarding will be the 28th. I'll share the checklist and recordings by Friday. After that, the role needs a new owner. You end well, not endlessly. When friendship needs a seasonal step back, you say so without a trial. You trust that the relationship can breathe and recalibrate. I care about you. The pace hasn't worked for me. I'm stepping back this season and will check in next month. Family boundaries sometimes need consequences you actually keep. You do not threaten, you act with calm. You return when the tone changes. This consistency protects everyone from the chaos of unpredictable reactions. I'm not discussing that topic. If it stays on the table, I'll head out and reconnect next weekend. Money clarity stays gentle by design. You include a kindness bucket that holds small, spontaneous giving or shared fun. You give from it gladly and stop when it is empty. You remove drama from generosity by planning for it. You protect future you by guarding the rest. I have $20 left in my kindness bucket this month. I'm happy to use it here. Micro practice. Name 3 automatic no's for the next quarter that match your values right now. Say them once aloud. Write them on a sticky note. When an ask appears, check the note before you answer. You keep your identity close because identity shrinks decision friction. You remind yourself that you are the kind of person who answers clearly, spends on purpose, leaves on time, and repairs quickly when you slip. You repeat these lines on tired days. You let them carry you until energy returns. I keep my word by keeping it small enough to keep. When old labels try to catch you, you step out of their grip. You are not difficult for having limits. You are not selfish for stewarding your energy. You are not cold for letting numbers speak. You are a person with a life. You love people better from inside the life you can actually live. I care about you, and my answer stays the same. Work culture shifts when one person models humane edges without apology. You can be that person. You will not win every battle, but you will create small pockets of sanity that often grow. You will protect focus blocks. You will insist that scope and deadlines move together. You will write decisions in places they can be found. These moves are quiet, practical revolutions. I'm moving this to the project tracker and adding owners and dates. We'll decide at 10 tomorrow. Your next year is built from small proofs: 1 boundary kept, 1 budget move, 1 on-time exit, 1 clear email. Proof reduces anxiety because your brain sees outcomes, not just intentions. You let proof pile up like stones in a path you can trust. Micro practice. Tonight, write 1 line. Today I honored myself by. Fill it with a boundary you kept. Close the notebook. Sleep. You are done chasing approval with auto yes. You are done paying with dollars that were meant for your stability. You are done explaining the whole theory every time you set a limit. You are done with nights where your body is exhausted and your words are thin. You do not need permission to live the life you are building. You need a breath and a sentence. You already have both. I choose the version I can deliver well. As you walk forward, remember that clarity and kindness can share a mouth. Your voice is even. Your sentences are short. Your money serves what matters. Your boundaries are sturdy and warm. Your life has a shape that fits your hands. You can keep it because you built it from actions you can repeat on ordinary days. Thank you for listening to Queen Audiobooks and for choosing a voice and a pace you can live inside for years to come.